if I could
Really?
even go to the correct screen.
Kaylee,
I mean, it's
that's
a mood.
my job.
It's a
That's
vibe.
my job, not yours. What are you
My
doing?
volume's on. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
I'm just gonna wave.
Welcome into Reality Break 20, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are very, very happy to have you. We really love doing this. Welcome in. We have a brief spiel we like to do before we get into the Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
No, we don't. There's
Just-
never
Okay,
been a
let's get the
spiel.
spiel.
Yeah, just cold cut it right into the
This is the stream where we jump ahead 5 years and figure it out from there.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Dice
Yep.
are rolling
Both
suspiciously
bad.
good tonight. Like,
In a
suspicious.
Yeah, but it's not when it
World.
counts. So
No. That's alright, I just rolled a 3 and a 10, so I feel better now.
There you go.
it's okay. I suck
Oh,
again, guys. We're good.
The universe is balanced out.
You know,
Oh no!
I just rolled 2 nat 20s
ooh, you better save those. Slow down.
and a 4. So
So speaking of dice and places to put dice, we have this really cool partner called Hexwood Creations that makes
Not
some
very
really
deep.
cool dice boxes. Christine, now that you're at home, would you like to talk about them?
I would love to talk about my beautiful dice box from Hexwood Creations that has magnets and comes with a lid that's a rolling tray, and the magnets go together and they're very strong, and you can flip the dice around and they won't go flying. And he also makes inserts, so you can take this and then there's an insert that stacks it up, and you can stack a bunch of them if you have a lot of dice. I actually am thinking about buying an insert because I have a lot of dice. Ow. And if you're not careful, the box will pinch you.
Oh, no.
He also makes dice towers and cutting boards and signs and wizard staffs and all sorts of things, and he takes commissions. He also has a really beautiful DM screen that I have been drooling over, even though I don't DM and don't play in person, but it's gorgeous. And bonus, if you go to hexwoodcreations.com and put in code RB20, you will get a little bit of a discount, and he knows that you came from us. So we strongly encourage you to go check out Hexwood Creations if you want a beautiful dice tray. He also makes card boxes if you play like Magic the Gathering or any card like based game. And he, like I said, he does commissions. So if you have an idea for something made out of wood, that he can help you make that idea a reality.
So cool.
So
Very
use code RB20 and get a discount.
That is awesome.
Don't break it. You have to buy
No,
another one.
she
too.
said a reality, and I had to finish it.
And on the same note, we also proudly now have an affiliate partnership in which, at no extra cost to anyone, if you decide to check out Dragon's Nest, we get a little bit of a kickback. So you're also supporting us. And their stuff is amazing. Who wants to talk about it?
D, go.
I can. So you get amazing things. You get some fun little Japanese candies. You get metal dice. You get resin dice. You get a one-shot. You get some free copyright-free music to go along with your one-shot, as well as stat blocks, etc., etc. You get some minis and stickers. I actually, in my box this month, I got some cards, like encounter
Cute.
cards,
Yeah,
which
I
is
saw
really
those.
neat.
Yeah.
That's new, I think.
So yeah, I really like it though. And I'm not gonna lie, all of the stickers were on point, and I'm gonna stick them on
Amazing.
everything this month.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is with Dragon's Nest deliveries. You get a subscription, that's what you choose. You can do a one-time purchase as well, but it is wonderful. Would 12 of 10 recommend, honestly, because it is just like chef's kiss for any TTRPG nerd who just wants dice. It's really great for dice goblins. I'm actually running out of places to put dice at this point. And it's only been 3 months, I think, since I started ordering them. But if you go to their website, Dragon's Nest Deliveries, and type in your promo code Reality Break. That is capital R, capital B, all together, one word, Reality Break. It will give you 15% off of your purchase. That includes either your first purchase of a subscription or a one-time purchase. It works for both. It's so
Excellent.
good.
I tell you what.
So good.
I'll tell you
So
where you
good.
can stick your dice. In your Hexwoods Creations box.
I am actually looking to buy one. And I can't, okay, I have some like ASMR for you guys. It's the metal dice that I got this month, and I hope to God my mic picks it up, but is it picking it up?
Oh, a
Little bit, yeah.
When you talk, you have to talk a little bit.
Okay,
Go,
when I talk, is
Oh,
it like
yes.
ASMR? Okay. So, welcome to Reality Break ASMR with
No.
D. But they're gorgeous. They're hollow dice, and they have little
Ooh.
gears on them this month.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
remember
cute.
that.
They're for Morag. They're Morag's dice, and they're like, oh
Yeah,
god,
that's
just the
amazing.
sound of them. Sound of them is so good. So, I love them. Okay, I'm sorry. Reality Break. Capital R, capital B. All one word. Dragon's Nest deliveries.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Awesome.
Huzzah.
Spiel done.
And
End of
also,
spiel.
we have a few socially places you can find us. Claire, would you like to tell the people where else they can find us?
Yes,
people what
our
they want.
most important place is our TikTok, where you can find all kinds of cool clips of our streams, and you can also find cool other videos. Like, we do our tidbits of the week, but we also occasionally do little live streams for like cosplay stuff. Christy is excellent at those, so definitely go give it a check it out. And we also have our Discord and the break room if you want to hang out with us out of stream, and also get notifications for when we go live, in case your Twitch is just bombarded with all these other channels. And we're the most important ones, so you might as well join our Discord. That way you can get your own personal notification that we're live, and you won't ever miss a stream. And if you do miss a stream, we will post them to our YouTube, where you can go watch them as many times as you like. I think we post those on Wednesdays. Or
Something like that. Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Wednesdays.
Post them.
Sorry,
Thursdays.
Thursdays.
Okay, so we post those on Thursdays. So if you do miss a stream, don't fret. You can see it again, or maybe you just enjoyed the stream so much that you want to put it on in the background while you're cleaning or doing whatever you want to do. So definitely go check out our YouTube as well.
Yep. You can watch back Star Heel too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you
10
so
out of
much,
10.
Claire. And Bill, would you like to tell the people how they can interact with us and help feed the algorithm on our behalf?
There are many ways you can do that, but one of the most important thing you could possibly do, I'm assuming you're talking about clips, because clips are the way to go. Because without clips, we can't make little tidbits that we can throw up on TikTok or on YouTube in the short section or anything like this. We can't show people what is so absolutely amazing and funny and wonderful in those little moments that you absolutely enjoy. And because of those, it's because of people like you that taking these clips and actually showing them to the rest of the world, just what you find absolutely wonderful about us. And we find you wonderful just the same way. And in that moment where you take that clip and you are looking at that segment that you want to save forever, make sure that you put an awesome title on there that the rest of the world can look at that and go, hey, that sounds interesting. And then we can know exactly what you're talking about as well. And we can throw that on TikTok, on YouTube, just about anywhere, maybe even in the Discord. But with that, it's so hard to do it without someone like you doing it for us, because we need you.
Made possible by viewers like you.
On PBS.
Yes.
The more you know.
All right. Is there anything else I'm missing from our little spiel?
Have anything?
I don't
I think so.
I think that's everything.
Did we-
If you
did
have
we
any
talk
questions-
about
I think that's the
Discord?
quickest that has ever been.
We just
Claire
flew
and Bill
through it.
both. Yeah, Claire and Bill both touched
Oh.
on the Discord.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and just if you have any questions or you feel like you're not sure where to find us, also scroll down and look at the About section, which is all the art is
Below.
beautifully made by our wonderful Devin. And that art looks really great, and you can click on stuff. They all lead to different places, so check them out. But yeah, I think with that, it's time to do the thing, and we can get on with this.
Let's do the thing.
Welcome
Hey, we're not
in, my
copy-
friends.
Watch out for the copyright.
Making Christmas.
And that's it. We've been DMCA'd.
I mean, it's like
Thanks,
15
Steve.
seconds, so that was only like 2, so we're probably good.
Viking Village.
Welcome in, my friends. When last we left our adventurers, they were aboard the Sticky Wicket still. They're very close, getting very close to Wayhaven. They will be reaching the shores of Wayhaven. They spent this last day sort of chatting at dinner time and stuff like that, so I had moved you up a little bit, and barring anything else happening that night, you'll be moving a little bit further. You are a day's journey from the docks of Wayhaven, and there was a lot of conversation, a lot of trying to remember things that people haven't thought of in a long time, and a lot came about from our Lady Amara, who was promised to the city of Emerald Shores for marriage, and that was why she was on her way there.
That last stream, the last session was LOL. Lots of lore. So
So much lore. My notes are a hot mess. Also, because I didn't have my colored pens with me, so like I'm gonna have to go back through my last session's notes and
oh no.
mark all the
There's
things.
had a lot of
So
questions
many
last time.
names. So many names.
Oh no.
Such
What is
name,
that?
much
A
name.
list of
And
names.
Ramasha was fishing, mostly just catching enough to fish some more.
Pretty much. I did catch enough to do some gambling.
Oh, that's right. And you had some gambling right at the end of the night.
Yep, and I also had the last thing I wrote down was that Asherin saw her patron's face saying that we need to talk.
Yes, that also happened.
In Dominic's
was-
face.
I was gonna say, I think it was on Dominic.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was
Dominic's
on.
face sort
Yeah.
of changed for you. Yep.
Pretty.
And creepy all at the same time.
Mostly creepy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
Never mind. Never mind.
What did y'all plan to do? So as you wake up in the morning, you can see the trees in the distance and just barely the landmass that you can imagine must be, because you can hear the pirates, or I'm sorry, I keep calling your people pirates.
They are.
The freedmen going, there she is. There's Wayhaven. We're almost home, boys. And you can see the tall old trees in the mid, like sort of not on the shore, but that's what you can see is that there is a landmass and there are trees on it. And you can hear the excitement in the sailors' voices as they are having breakfast and getting the ship going heavy on the wind today.
Singing their songs. All the sea shanties for Wayhaven.
Yeah.
So
What do you plan on doing your last day on
Ba-ba-dee-da-ba-da.
on the sea for now? After this week on the sea.
Roland's gonna wake up and head down to the galley for breakfast. Trying to keep an eye out for Asherin specifically. I'm guessing you're either there eating or cooking, or are you already like upstairs?
I think Asherin would probably be, if it's still like, if they're still doing breakfast, she would be like helping with the tea and handing that out and everything.
All right, cool. So I would want to kind of sit down, wait for her to make her way over, and be like, "Hey, kiddo. So how did your conversation with the lady go last night?"
It went. She seemed a bit confused, and quite frankly, I didn't get that much good information from her. But I did find out that she was on her way to go marry one of the current princes from Emerald Shores.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was trying to find out, like, she certainly didn't know the name that I had,
Right.
and didn't seem to know any of the other names that I had from that dream. So it honestly wasn't that much help. I don't really know. But yeah, it was a bit confusing. But I certainly don't think she's any harm or threat. I know Ramasha was concerned, but
Right.
she's very naive, maybe would be the word.
Wow.
But
Okay.
yeah. And this is coming from me, who's never left Hazelport.
Well, you're still traveled a bit, to be fair.
Yeah,
and I've seen
to fray
seen
more.
some stuff. And hey, you were there during that Chimera fight, so you've
It's
seen
true,
some stuff.
but it was more like she definitely didn't have any. She's very sheltered, maybe would be a better word. Because I certainly have not been that, but she definitely had some interesting ideas of what life is like in other places, and the way that she talked about Emerald Shores. It was very not whatever the opposite of down to earth is. That was her.
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
what the opposite would be.
I
You
get
do
that.
remember, though, she did tell you that she would give you her notebooks if you guys came back into contact, that she had to study when she was in school.
Yeah. I think Ashton probably was like, during that part, like, yeah, like, we'll ever run into each other ever again. Sure.
Yeah.
On the shoulder, like, yeah.
Oh,
So-
so Roland will be like, well, that certainly is a lot. Maybe not a lot for you in what you're looking for, but do you think there's enough there to, worth traveling that way a little bit further?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I was thinking I was going to have to go up there at some point, but based on some of the things she said about the family and about their prejudices, I don't know that anybody would talk to me.
And I'm gonna give her a pat on the back, be like, but you're such a charmer. Who wouldn't like you? Come on now.
That's very sweet, Roland, but not everybody gives people the opportunity to chat and get charmed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm all too familiar with that. There's some places, even on Aberth, that aren't exactly dwarf friendly, if you know what I mean. So it's getting better, but back in the day, I definitely can understand that. Hey,
I got the impression my ears weren't going to be pointy enough.
well, I've heard that there's this thing that's been invented. It's called a hood. It kind of do something like this. Maybe that can negate some of that a bit. I don't know.
I could fluff my hair out a bit to hide
There you
them.
go.
Maybe.
I remember when you went through that big hair phase like a couple of years ago. I didn't say anything. I thought
It was a particularly humid summer, I'll just have you know.
fair. I'm just saying, sometimes big isn't always best, is what I'll say, okay? That's all I'll say.
I agree.
Speaking from experience.
Speaking from experience.
It was the 80s. It was the fashion.
It was the 2880s.
Hairspray everywhere.
2880s, yeah.
Ashford as Tina Turner.
Hairspray everywhere. So he's gonna say, well, maybe when we get to the island, we'll, take some time, kind of reevaluate the information that you got. And I'm ignoring my mom just walked in and walked out. It's fine. I'm ignoring that. Hi and bye. And maybe we'll figure out next steps from there. If you're not too busy right now, too, I also want to kind of chit chat about something that happened during that squid fight. If you got a minute.
Sure, I've got time.
All right. And I'm sitting there, kind of holding a tea, looking kind of a bit like the tone is shifted a little bit.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, no, so something you said the other day during that squid battle, or I have to go actually at the end of the squid battle when you did that super amazing flourish with your sword that I clearly taught you.
Definitely. Everything I know, I owe to you, of course.
Oh, stop it, kiddo. But then there was that green fire that shot out of your sword.
Is that when we were training?
Yeah, well, you'd said you didn't remember it being that intense before, or that powerful when you'd done it before.
Yeah.
And I worry about, and I kind of look around, and I'm like, your partner, your sidekick, your whatever you want to call her, the one with the pretty face.
The one with the face.
Oh,
Dominic.
you were talking about Aoife. I'm like,
No,
what's
no.
wrong with my owl?
Nothing wrong with your owl. No. The owl's fine. She's actually quite nice. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But she doesn't seem to be of the best intentions. And I worry that she may be giving you these boosts without you knowing it, and then expecting something in return. I'm not a God's fearing man, but I've seen enough people kind of give that tit for tat, and then eventually it comes back to bite them. So I just want to make sure that you know what you're doing, is all. And and this is like fatherly concerned look and all that. So
I mean, I definitely agree that I don't entirely know what her motivations are for helping me. The things that I've done for her in return they seem pretty minor to me in the big picture. So I'm still trying to figure that part out. And to be perfectly honest, I've been kind of ignoring her recently.
mm-hmm.
But she did contact me yesterday and said that we need to talk, and I think it's probably time. The initial conversation we had to do with her helping me find out information about my father, and that hasn't really panned out yet. I haven't gotten anything from that end of the deal, so I haven't talked to her about that dream I had, and I'm hoping that maybe she'll be able to give some insight, and that's kind of where this is going to lead us, but I don't actually know.
Well, what I will say is we have found out more on our own than I feel like any kind of help she's tried to give you. So
I know.
I don't know. Well, just and I'm assuming are you still like standing like next to me?
No,
or
I sat down as soon as we started like chatting. I sat down.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna kind of like take your hand and hold it in both of mine. Just say, look, I don't know what's gonna happen with this Miro situation, but for whatever happens, I want you to be safe, and I want you to know that I've got your back, and if I need to go bust the head of a demigod, I will do that to keep you safe.
Appreciate that. I don't think it's going to come to that yet, but I will definitely let you know if I need some help in that regard. I like I said, it's not. I just don't know. I don't know what she's getting out of this relationship yet. I suspect it's something, or it will be. I just don't know. And so it's all a learning situation. But that's partly why I asked for your help in learning how to use a sword, because I don't trust that those powers are always going to be there for me.
All right. Well, as soon as we get to the island, we will, in a couple days, we'll get to the island in a couple days, and then we'll get some more practice in. All right?
I think it might be today. I heard some yelling about trees or something.
And then at that, his face goes white. He's like, you know what?
She's just gonna like pat him on the shoulder. It'll be all right.
I need to go and be productive. So, yeah, I'm gonna go up and try to keep myself as busy as I can. Oh, and then he's gonna like hastily
I think
finish his.
Pontius can scrub if you want.
We'll see. I'm more of a. I just got, and he's gonna like finish his coffee, put it down, and then like scurry up to the top of the deck. And as
No
soon as he gets
complaints
up there and he sees, then as he sees like the island in the distance, people clamoring, he's just gonna look around and try to do like whatever menial task he can do to keep himself busy.
And you can make a survival check or just make a guesstimate as far as how far you think land is.
Sure. I'll do a survival check. 10.
Okay.
It's the
So-
most mid-roll ever.
You definitely can tell that, within 24 hours you're going to be. Well, actually, from here to you on the 10, it actually looks like you're going to be to land if you continue straight on. Like, if they're going to swing back westward, then you're going to be there tonight. That's what it looks like to you.
So
But they
he
don't
is
look like
just-
they're swinging westward.
So where last night, laying in bed, he was contemplative about like what he's gonna do and like how everything's gonna kind of wrap up. Upon seeing this, he's like, I need to keep myself busy, so I do not think about it anymore. So he is full on. That rope pile isn't stacked right, so he's gonna tear it down and restack it again. Yep. All that.
Bruno's probably paying attention to you if he's up on deck.
Reminds me of me at work trying to find something to do. Yesterday, I literally reorganized a shelf just because I had nothing to do. I'm like, might as well.
Yeah, and it's not because I don't have anything to do. It's trying to keep the brain busy. Trying to keep the brain busy.
And Ramasha, you would have been met with Mugwort first thing in the morning to confirm that you'll be at the dock point by, if not midnight, first light.
Excellent. I'll be sure to let the rest of them know.
And Dominic, Olga?
I would actually, Dominic would like to seek out Ramasha for
Baps?
a hopefully casual conversation.
Hopefully casual.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit of ground layout. What are we looking at in the ocean here? Are there like reefs or anything, or is this just straight up ocean? What are we looking at?
You know personally that the reason why you don't go straight west from here is it's very rocky there.
Okay.
I mean east. Why do I keep saying west? Every time I said west, I meant east.
Sure. That way.
And you guys
East.
swing around to the south of the island where the main docks are. But you do know there's also another auxiliary dock at the northeast. And there's no real good place to dock on the west side of the island.
Okay. All right. Sounds great.
But it's not dangerous out where you are. You guys are following the line,
No, but how the water acts with the rockage and like so forth underneath could actually make someone seasick too.
Okay, so take a...
Like I could tell you personally, I can't be on the bow of a ship when we're going through a reef. That's one time I actually get seasick.
So yeah, take a survival check and see if you can see if there's anything people need to be worried about.
All right, let me add something to that because I rolled a 10 also. Today's going to be average.
We're very mid today.
Yes.
14.
Okay, 14. So yeah, you can see that as you come up into the shallows, there might be some turbulence because it's a little bit windy. So if you were trying to warn anyone who might be susceptible to seasickness, they should get their eyes on the horizon because there is a breeze, but it's nice and bright out. So.
Perfect. All right, yeah, I'm going to be getting up and working my way. I'm assuming my entire crew knows all this anyways,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be telling the people that are just aboard the ship freshly as well as the rest of the people that came with me. So
Yeah,
the rest
so
of the
they
party.
get the word downstairs. Amara comes upstairs to sort of just sit at the back, keep her eyes on the horizon.
Okay.
How long does Dominic have left until he can't
I believe
get
he
drunk
might be
or
done.
not
I think
drunk
it's-
anymore?
I think it's
'cause
gone.
I think
it was
this
five
is
days.
the last day.
Wasn't it only 5 days though?
Yes, but the first day was the first day we were on the ship.
Right, but this is day 6 on the ship.
Oh, okay. Then
So last night was
Yesterday.
it. So you could be drinking
getting
while
drunk
you
and
were,
taking names.
when you were
Shot,
doing
shot,
dice
shot,
last night.
shot, shot,
Except
shot.
for not actually getting drunk.
Sleeping good.
Oh, do we make a constitution
Everybody.
check to see if all of that alcohol or all that binge drink? You didn't binge drink at the end of it, so no. If you had binge
No,
drank
I didn't even
the
drink
whole time,
at like the last day.
if you
Yeah.
had binge drank the whole time, you'd probably be making a constitution save this morning.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'd be making a digestive save.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
constitution.
Need some like probiotic in my life.
You are
As
on
the 16-year-old boy.
And
Yeah.
anyone
Um,
who
my
feels the
tummy
need
hurts.
can make a constitution save for seasickness if they think they might need it. I'm going to make one for Amara.
I figure that since you're on a ship full of pirates,
He's not
especially
doing
with
good
how
this
you
morning.
have been drinking, they're probably going to try to get you to drink tonight too.
Well, they can try.
Oh,
But
there's
I'm
the
a
one.
responsible little boy.
Yeah, Amara is pale and keeping her eyes on the horizon and drinking tea today.
I'm a big boy
Gross.
now.
I'm a real boy. Sorry, while my nose grows. Okay, so Dominic would like to basically just go up to Ramasha as he's like kind of calming down, giving orders to people, and he's just gonna kind of lean in and be like, I just wanted to thank you for showing me how to sail.
Marsh is going to put his arm around you, pull you a little bit closer. It's an absolute pleasure, my friend. It is good to have you on board. I'm glad you came with us. I get to show you my life and what it's all about. But this is just a part of it. This is just a means of getting to where we need to be.
Yeah, about that. Where exactly do we need to be? Where are we going?
Oh, we are going to the place of all places. We are going to Wayhaven. The land
Wayhaven?
of the free men. Anyone who was a slave or is fighting against slavery, wishes to not be a slave, is on Wayhaven.
Okay, but I'm free, and
Is
I'm
welcome
not
on
from
Wayhaven.
Wayhaven.
Well, this is why you are welcome on Wayhaven. We fight against those that would enslave you.
Someone's going to try to enslave me.
It happened to me.
What?
That's a story for another time.
There's no time like the present.
We have things
Why
we
can't you
must
just
do.
tell me now?
That's a long story. We could
No,
definitely-
they're taking care of most of this. You could tell me something about yourself.
We have plenty of time today. Why don't
Oh.
you and I walk and go express things to the others, and I must let them know about what to expect, and then we can discuss.
If you would like to continue to press, you can try a persuasion check.
Ooh, I want to do it.
And what would contest that?
That's
or-
it. That's not gonna do much.
You got really excited
You
for
know-
a second.
You know what? I rolled a 2 for a 10.
Jesus.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It is based on-
Plus
It's
8.
Yeah,
it's
probably
still
would.
mid. Yes, my
Mid.
persuasion
Very
is
mid
plus
again.
8.
The dice are telling the story. It's very midday.
It's mid. We do be
Yeah.
mid.
We do be
Did you
midden.
roll lower than a 10? So you feel a little compelled. Obviously, you know yourself best, but Dominic seems genuinely interested in hearing at least a little bit because you said that you were enslaved and that's why you're fighting the slaves.
I rolled a 7, and with my many bonuses, I have an 8. So, yeah, about that. I suppose I can tell you tidbits as we go along. Come along, young one.
You can give him a
Is it
tidbit once a week.
I was
about
going to
your
be
story.
tidbit of the week.
Oh,
Eh.
So what's your first tidbit going to be then?
not even going as far back as what it was like on. Well, you know, I'm not going to mention my family. That's what I'm not going to mention. I am going to talk about how I was on an island of my own, and I don't remember what it was called right now.
So as
can't
he
open our
sees Ramasha struggling with how to talk right now, he's just gonna say, I understand that you're kind of a private person. I would like to think that we're similar in that, but I feel like I don't know you out of everyone here. I feel like I know you the least, which might be why I smelled your jacket that day, and I still really regret it, but
Ramasha's just gonna. I would regret it as well.
yeah. But just know that I respect you, and I think that we could know each other better. So I understand there's things to do and there's, a place to be right now, and we're getting to that place. But if you ever want to talk over a drink or something, just know that portion is worn off, so just one drink. Not not more
Just a little.
than that. Yeah.
Ramasha's going to look at Dominic. Just stop everything he's doing. Just stop. And then look at him. He's going to do the kitty thing of just putting his paw on your face. And then
Swear to God, if you slap me.
No.
It's usually your nose, I've found.
Yeah, yes, very
You
true.
just like
One of the cats here likes to put her paw on my
I
chin.
love you.
No.
It's like,
yeah.
just like the kitty love thing of putting a paw on your face, and then it's just starting to do the Robert Redford.
But
As,
I
as the
imagine
camera zooms in,
Yeah.
like
Just-
6'3". Right? Oh God, no. You're 6'3", right?
I want to say I'm actually 6 foot.
Oh, so we're the same height.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, your
Brother.
paw would probably be like the entire
have
side
a
of
big
my
paw.
head.
Yes,
Yeah.
tabaxis are large cat,
Yeah.
giant cat humanoids, so
Right.
he does have large paws.
Just
Right. Yeah. So just imagine, like,
Yeah.
it's taking up the
Takes up
entire
half your-
side of my head,
but it is clean and it is super fuzzy.
And warm.
but your jacket still
It's toe
smells.
beans. It's toe beans.
Toe beans.
Toe beans. I love toe beans.
giant
Slightly
toe
Giant
beans.
toe beans.
Slightly calloused because he's he works with his hands, but
Yeah,
still soft.
so
They're like
Wouldn't it be
giant
like a-
toe potatoes.
maybe like toe apples. What I'm thinking, yeah.
They're like the little mini like red potatoes at like the store that everybody
Anyway.
loves so much.
Oh, red potatoes.
There
Robert
we go.
There you go.
Redford
There you
nod.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Big sad
Dominic's gonna
kitty
feel a
eyes.
little bit awkward at just like nodding, and he's gonna also
Oh.
nod.
I meant to change the music. We're gonna be on a
amazing.
floating market.
We're both just standing there nodding.
Paw on face, your paw's on my face, and you're just like, and I'm also like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the pirates is gonna go walking by and just kind of look at that, look at the other one, go, bit odd, ain't it?
nope, not for this group, not for these two.
But
Dominic, the captain of awkward moments.
Yes.
You know that we need to get someone to draw that now.
that's amazing.
Giant toe beans on face.
All right.
Giant toe
So,
Toe beans.
Olga, Bruno has been running around paying a lot of attention to Roland today. What is Olga up to?
Ugh.
Bless you.
She's got a cold.
And I will come back to you. I didn't mean to cut you too off, but I figured that was a cute moment to kind of go over to see what Olga's doing.
Sure. Cute moment.
Yeah, Olga is just kind of she's got like a cup of coffee that she made, and she's just kind of on the deck watching the shore and looking out to the land and just trying to figure out, honestly, just imagine what's gonna happen when they dock and stuff. Like, how are people gonna treat her and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably nerves every time she comes to a new city. And this is a place that she doesn't have connections, which
Yeah.
hasn't happened to her in a long time. All right. Is she feeling seasick or no?
No, she's been on boats
Okay.
a few times. Yeah.
All right, y'all. The clamor of the day is happening.
All right, I'm especially with that, with actually being persuaded to actually tell the story. I'm just going to get Darnat's attention and tell Darnat to go let everyone know that here, munch on some ginger, something like this. You're going to be getting. If you have a chance of being seasick, it's coming up, and what to expect time wise.
Yeah, Darnat has brought ginger tea to Amara, who seems to be the only one that's seasick. Like I said, unless anyone that made a Constitution save the first day wants to like have themselves make one with advantage because you've been on the sea for a week. But otherwise than that, she's the only one struggling.
We're on the sheep. It's a
The
giant sheep at sea.
And you kind of see by like midday, sort of end of day, that like once again, anyone that doesn't already know this route, it looks like you're close enough to the land now to see the rocks and the shore and stuff like that. So it multiple times throughout the day, it seems like, oh, are we landing there? Oh, are we landing there? Oh, are we landing there? But experienced folks might notice that there's no docks there, and for survival rolls, you might notice more if you wanted to make them. But yeah, and Ramasha's pointing out some sea cucumbers and sea sheep. All right.
Now at this point, and I think I don't know, Ramasha, how observant you're being of this, or if you're too wrapped up, but clearly at this point, Roland is quite literally just like polishing the cannons, even though they don't need to be polished, and like polishing each one of the cannonballs, just doing whatever he can to keep himself
Cleaning
occupied.
He's
the whole ship.
polishing his cannon, right?
I think at the moment with our interaction. You okay? Wait, what did I miss?
Nothing. Just keep going.
Oh, now I'm really curious. I'm
Anywho.
sorry I missed that.
DVD.
So I'm thinking with everything that's going on with Dominic, I'm actually not paying attention to you right this second. That just really like captivated my attention. We had a moment, and that's going on with that. But I have no doubt in my mind, especially with you polishing the cannons at this point, that Mugwort's going to be going,
Yeah.
That's some nice work you're doing there. Not necessary, but it's the best that can has ever looked.
And anyone else who is on deck either can just notice or make a perception check if they think they're not paying close attention to Roland. But I feel like that behavior is pretty noticeable by the midday.
Yeah.
I totally picture Mugwort as the cat version of Mr. Gibbs from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Which one's Mr. Gibbs?
Yep.
Mr.
Lol. Yes.
Mr. Gibbs is the one with
Yes.
the sideburns, and he's the second mate, you know.
Of the good cat of the
Oh.
ghosts?
To,
or
to
of the-
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
The Johnny Depp.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
very
crazy
lucky
eyes.
to be having a woman aboard the ship,
Mhm.
you know. That's totally
Except
how
Pretty much.
His second mate is a-
Does my 13 passive perception notice Roland, or do I need to roll?
I'd say a 13 is enough at this point by midday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Coming
That's a
towards the end of
first.
the day.
Oh, I do have a 14.
Probably like it was like a 15 in the morning. He was able to kind of keep it together and just look busy because there was stuff to do. But by the end of the day, it's just like a 10 DC. Like he's stressed.
Yeah. Like
It's very
I'm polishing I'm mopping the deck for like the 8th time that day, you know. I swear there's one particle on here that just can't get off.
Out, damn spot! Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, and Mugwort would or Lila definitely would have been like, "Hey, you okay over here, Roland? Cannons look great, but they don't need cleaning."
Yeah, well, you know, it's you know when as you know when you pull into the dock for the first time, when you pull in the shore, you got to look your best, right? So everything's got to look pristine, it's got to look good, it's got to look perfect, because you know you don't want disappointment by pulling up there and something that you want
So-
to look good to not be there and to
Mugwort just
not
like
no.
puts his hand on your shoulder. I was gonna make you make a perception check, but you got so frantic it was obvious. I mean, a deception, but you got so frantic it was obvious. Mugwort puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, "Whoa, slow down, friend.
Sorry.
Did you eat lunch?"
No.
So I'm gonna
did
say I'm gonna call it captain's orders that you go get yourself some food
Mm.
and get yourself in a better state of mind, because no matter what you're gonna be coming to face, you probably want to be in a better state of mind when you face it.
Right. Yep. And I'm just gonna like
He like pats you on the
give
shoulder.
a salute. Give a salute. Yes, yes, sir.
He's very
yes, sir.
gentle.
And
He
then-
was not stern at all.
Oh, of course, yeah. But Roland's so out of sorts at this moment that he's just like snaps. He almost like flashes back a little bit to his old soldiering
Yeah,
days,
the-
where he's just like, "Yes, sir."
Yep, just get into clockwork. Yep.
Clicks the heels, salutes,
Yep.
and then just heads back downstairs. And then by the time he gets to the stairs going down, he goes, "By the gods, I am actually hungry."
All
And
right,
then- so then I'll go down and
Dominic,
see if I can-
wherever you were on the ship, you could have seen, probably not the exchange at the back if you were near the area for going down, but as he sort of like made his way down, that would be when you could have noticed like his behavior being super odd, and now he's just like finally seems to be going down to rest a little bit.
I would like to follow him and check on my lizard and on Roland.
Once. Oh yeah, you gotta check on your lizard.
Check on my
Alright.
lizard.
Check on it.
And Ashrin, what after you got done with your kitchen chores, just hanging out watching the scenery?
As soon as Ramasha went around and told everybody that we wouldn't be probably coming into dock until nighttime, she probably would have found a spot on deck to just kind of watch the island go by and maybe clear her mind and see if her patron was like listening or paying attention or wanting to reach out at that point. And if she doesn't hear anything during the day, she would certainly, once evening fell and there was a little bit more like place to have privacy, she would have maybe
Okay.
more
All right.
actively tried to reach out.
Yeah.
So she's kind of opening her mind, letting the attention of "I'm available now if you want to chat" out into the world.
You've
This is your
turned yourself
callback for your
green.
waiting
You've
on
turned yourself.
hold.
You've turned yourself green on Teams.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I am available.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and make an Arcana. I don't know if it's a check or a save, but it's the same bonus either way. So
So many
do
bonuses.
Arcana.
Do the Arcana.
I actually have a +5 to Arcana. I had no idea that I had proficiency in that. I don't know that I've ever rolled an Arcana check.
Oh, you're a warlock.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Not
She's
mid.
not mid today. Let's go.
Not dead.
Nope.
Not mid.
Whoa.
Everybody's dice energy has been transferred to Christy.
Mm.
Exactly.
For
I will
real.
take it. That never happens.
Yeah. So as you're sort of like sitting, so did you decide to go somewhere that you'd be able to be by yourself then, and not sitting like where Amara and Darnat was tending to her and Henry was kind of with her too?
Can you repeat that? You got robotic
Sorry.
for me.
So since you were trying to sort of collect yourself and make yourself available, were you choosing to be somewhere alone on deck, or were you kind of over with the people but alone in your mind? The people like Amara and Darnat and Henry were all over at the back of the boat where it's more stable.
I would have been trying to find a corner where I was out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
but not with people.
Okay.
Just kind of where I could watch the island go by. So if we've turned north, is that the way that we turned?
You're
Or
gonna,
did
yeah,
we turn south?
yep. You've been coming south. You're turning east, and you'll eventually swing up north at the very end. Yep.
Okay, so we're going like south around the island essentially.
Yep.
So
you're coming
then
around
she
the
would be on
southern-
she would be on the port side then.
Okay.
Just
All right. And
having a
as
quiet
she's
moment.
yeah, and as she's sort of like resting there, sort of collecting herself, going over whatever she's going over in her head. Did she have Aoife out?
Yeah, she would have Aoife's probably just perched on the railing and she's just kind of like scratching the back of her
Yeah.
head and her neck and petting her feathers and
Yeah. So like at some point, like midday, there's like this blinding flash, like where the sun comes out of the clouds for a minute and flashes across the sea, and it's like diamonds on the water. and Aoife just like ruffles her feathers and flies away and does like a loop and flies back down in front of you and like ruffles her feathers again at you. And you kind of just like get the feeling that like your message is being heard.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. And so, but as the day goes on, as you sort of like wait there, available, but sort of like, I don't know if after that moment you sort of feel that like you can let your mind wander or whatever as you want to, like after you've felt like there was that sort of confirmation. But as far as for the rest of the afternoon, you don't feel like she like comes out to step in front of you or anything like that.
Okay, she's not reaching out. She's just saying, check, got it.
It's almost like, yeah, you just feel like a ting, like a little, like a, yeah.
She left you on red. She left you on red. What is she doing?
No, it's like
Are
a
you
thumbs
surprised?
up. It's like a thumbs up
Okay.
on the message.
Over there eating.
Not
Rude.
surprised. Lady does things in her own time.
All right, and then so
Bum, 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 bum.
we had everybody sort of just preparing. Roland went down to eat lunch, and actually it was a very late lunch for him because this is closer. It's like halfway to dinner time. We're halfway between lunch and dinner at this point.
Yeah.
And so at some point you probably would have noticed Roland going down as well. Ashrin, Dominic noticed it. Masha depends on if you were busy with making plans for docking. And Olga, if you're downstairs helping with cooking dinner, you see Roland come down. If you're upstairs, you could probably notice him walking down too.
I don't feel like I actually need to make any plans for that. This is just, we've done this several hundred times already, and it's just more a matter of, I was engulfed in the conversation with Dominic.
Oh, that's right.
So we were just discussing that, talking about everything, what my life was like on the island, excluding everything having to do with the family, and then how I got captured, how I fought back and took it without great detail, but just some basics. Yeah, what we took it. And, we all ended up all sneaking about it one night, and
Mugwort was very, very intricate in his plan. Without him, we would not have succeeded.
of course, Ramash is pointing to everyone else being the absolute
Yeah,
key
because if
parts of
Mugwort
this.
had heard that, he would have been like, "That's not true. It was
Yeah.
you."
Pointing to everyone else being the hero except
Yep.
for himself.
All right. Well, I think this would be a nice time to go to break, and then we'll come back, finish lunch and dinner, and get ready to get onto the island.
Woohoo!
Hooray! It's exciting.
Hooray!
Why don't you all go stretch your legs, get a snack, get a drink, go potty if you need to. Check out our clips, and we shall see you in a few moments.
Try anyway if you don't need to. Honestly.
Try anyway if you don't need to.
Yeah.
Life
There you go.
lessons.
Yes.
Bye.
Goodbye.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is fine.
Usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You do also call everyone.
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug at the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff. We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go. Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car.
We're not dragging them down the road. They're on like
we made
a little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank you for telling me, Tasha.
Did you hear that, my
He
knife?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
rock
basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out,
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to see it.
Yep, he kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls
it?
it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Y'all were like, whoa, what are you doing? So.
Yeah.
21.
That's fair. Jesus.
Oh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
This little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you don't
literally
know
right.
about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I
Oh,
mean for
God.
another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Oh, yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red. This is my happy vein. Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, "Impressive. So happy."
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you!
Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have
All
a
right.
trench coat.
Alright. But
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
Pro
Yeah.
strip.
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yep.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Well, friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You do also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do. I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
It's a turd. You got a tongue in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Thank you.
Very second.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your car.
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down
a-
the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
Is I'm not
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank
hear
you
it
for telling
in
me,
your mind?
ta-ta!
Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. That's it. Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rules less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin. You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeff!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so, just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge-
you're like,
Hello,
Dungeons and
my
Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Welcome back. Welcome
Let's
back
get
to
to-
Reality Break 20.
Dragons and Dungeons.
Shake our sailies out. Shake
our sillies out,
shake
and
our
we
sailors out.
take a break from the rule to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I hope you had a wonderful break. I hope you stretched your legs, got a snack, got a drink, went potty, did everything you needed to do, and I hope it was wonderful. We are at the last leg
Family.
we are family. We are on the last leg of our sea journey for these adventurers. They are seeing the island as they come around sort of a southwestern tour of the island, as they'll be docking on the southeastern corner of the island. Map for your viewing pleasure.
Sweet.
And this is the last day on the sea. Everyone sort of settled themselves in. Amara not doing so well, Lady Amara, but she's being tended to by Darnat, and Ashrin sort of contemplating the connection she felt the night before, sort of making it known to the universe that she is available. She put her light on green, as it were, and sort of felt a confirmation, but did not feel anything more. There was a, sort of a natural moment, and there was an energetic feeling, but her patron did not show herself. Roland trying to keep himself busy, trying, bless his heart, panicking.
I'd say I was doing a pretty good job keeping myself busy.
He was to the point of keeping those old cannons spick and span.
Even the zitty teenager over the corner, I don't have anything to do.
So Mugwort
Basically
gave him a quick talking to and asked him to, remember to think with his head and not his heart, and get himself in the right mindset. And no matter what he's about to face on the island, and to put some food in his belly. So he went down for a very late lunch, and our party was just getting ready.
Yeah.
Get in there last.
So I figure when I get down there, Olga, are you in the kitchen or in like the galley area? Okay.
Yeah, Olga is just kind of cooking a light. We're at lunch at this point, right?
Lunch would have been a couple hours ago, I think.
Yeah, so
I think you were
she's
prepping
maybe
for
starting,
dinner.
Yeah, probably prepping for dinner.
Yeah. So I kind of walked down a little sheepishly.
Shabashi.
And kind of like make eye contact and be like, Olga, I have appeared to have missed lunch. Is there anything I can kind of scrounge up? Just because I did not realize how busy I'd been and how hungry I was.
Yeah, I can whip you something up in like 10 minutes if you just give me a moment.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I'm gonna kind of settle down and like restless leg syndrome, kind of like tapping on the table.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, as you get down the stairs, sort of like not as busy, trying to calm yourself down. Once you're either at your discretion or once you get some food in you, when you are actively at the point where you're like feel that you're really ready to start trying to calm yourself, you could start making wisdom saving throws.
Yeah.
To see if you want to really if you want to go that direction.
Yeah, let me get before that lunch comes. Let me get one in right now to see, like, now that I'm like sitting and contemplating. Let me see how.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not on the seas. I'm not keeping myself busy. So let me see. You said wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not great.
Whoopsie.
It's not great. I'm still not cool.
What'd you get?
It's not good.
3.
That's not even mid, bro.
You got it. You got a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
this
no.
first before any like as you try to sort of fake composure to Olga and you sit back down, you can feel it sort of like your mind is just racing right now.
Yep. Yeah. So it's like some like
The
kind of
jitters
doing
like you
the
were
tap
talking about. Yeah.
tapping the table, restless leg. You know, just kind of like, whew, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Did anyone
kind
who
of-
noticed Roland go down make their way down?
I did, and I was gonna check on my lizard as well. I would say I've already gotten the lizard and brought it to Roland.
Lizard on the table.
Yep.
Lizard on the table.
I'd
So
say
you-
I was headed that way as well.
Okay.
By this point, we're probably both
Yeah.
noticed.
As you start convening, yeah, you can see a noticeably a little bit paler than normal Roland and very fidgety at the table.
Okay. I'd
Like
like to
hand
go up
jiving.
to him and just like, are you okay?
Oh, hey, kiddo. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I'm not really doing great there, kiddo. And the big part of, you know, being a man is admitting when you are not doing well. And I'm not doing that great. He I am a few hours away from seeing my missing grandson for the first time in like 15 years, and I don't know how to process that. And so I'm just trying to find my way, and I tried to keep myself busy, and then Mugwort was kind enough to point out that I had not eaten, and I'm now very hungry, so now I'm sitting here waiting patiently for Olga to scrounge something up for me, and that's where I'm at right now. How are you, kiddo?
As he is talking, Dominic is getting more fidgety with him because he doesn't know how to process all of this because he doesn't human. And so Dominic is going to just, like, as he says, like, or is nearing the words, "How are you, kiddo?" He's just gonna, like, hug awkwardly.
And
oh, I'm okay.
And Roland is going to be caught off guard by that, and
I would hope so.
lean hard into it. So,
2 things popped into my head as far as what Ramasha would do in that situation. The funny thing would be to act like a cat and just go up and brush up against both of you. And but I think actually, especially with the fact that you said that you haven't eaten and you're getting jittery and so forth, and now especially with how Dominic just started acting, Ramasha is going to go over to a little spot that he has, like a little piece of it's not lambus bread. What would you call that? Can't remember what it's called in real life. The bread that like lasts forever.
Or like hardtack?
Oh,
Thank you.
hardtack, yeah.
Yeah, little piece of hardtack. Just kind of like try to break it, not work it, break it over his knee, and then pass half of it to both of you.
It might bring tea at that point.
Yeah. So I'm not noticing that at first. I'm still just leaning into the hug with Dominic. And Dominic, I think you would feel like my shoulders kind of like when you first come in for the hug, they're like super tense and like fidgety and all that. And then like as soon as I lean in and like hug you back, like you start feeling the tension go away. And like breathing starts to like regulate a little bit.
Dominic will hug a little bit tighter, just like this much.
Yeah.
At you starting to like relax.
Did you do the 3 tap? The
Oh no.
There.
Well, you might. I'm not doing that. I'm
not gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm like holding it, and I'm holding it for probably a solid like minute and a half, and then I kind of like, and then I let you go, and then I kind of like sit there, and I'm like, I don't know why, but that's what I needed. Thank you.
Good.
And then I'm gonna notice the hardtack and be like, "Oh, sorry, Captain. I was having a moment there."
I said, no. We are friends, my friend. You don't have to call me Captain.
I know. It just, and I'm gonna like take the piece of hardtack and then like try to take a bite out of it. It's
That
just
might be
kind of
where
like
Olga can
gnawing
come
it.
up with some tea.
Make a constitution check for teeth strength.
yeah. He's a dwarf. His teeth are fine.
Yeah, we'll go with that. They're fine. They're great.
They
we're not
eat
gonna use that
rocks.
roll at all. Exactly. Yep, we're good. We don't need to use that roll it ever. It's fine. So yeah, never happened. Never happened. That was a natural one. It never happened.
Oh no!
Chipped a tooth. I chipped a tooth. It's great. No,
Ramash is helping
yeah.
Roland, reminding him he's a dwarf.
You can do this, my friend. You
Man
can
up. Man up. No, and I just, said, so I started gnawing on it a little bit. I was just like, sorry. It just trying to process Miro either being there or not being there, and just having just when we were still like a couple days away, I still thought I had time to figure out what to do. But now that we're like hours away, I realize I do not know what I'm going to do. So,
As I once heard a wise dwarf once say to another, you can only control what you can control. You worry about what you can worry about now.
At this point, Olga is walking in with the lunch she made.
What'd you make?
It's kind of like a fish and chips situation. She had a little bit of leftover fish from cooking and just kind of heated it up a little bit and, cut some potatoes and cook those up. Something she could quickly make.
So Olga puts that down, and I look at the hardtack, and I look at you, Ramasha, and I go, no offense, and I hand it back to you.
Dip it.
No, that's all right. This looks way better. And I'm like, I take a bite, realize how good it is and how hungry I am, and I just like go to town.
Yep.
Like,
as soon as that warm
it's
food
like
hits your belly, that's all you can think about.
Flakes of food flying all over the place. Yeah, and I'm like, oh god, this is delicious, and I thank you very much for taking the time. It's very kind of you.
He says it with a full mouth.
Yeah.
The flavor
Well,
savers
make
catching
sure
a lot of it.
everyone's fed. Speaking of which, Dominic, have you eaten?
I don't know.
When's the last time you ate?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it's a good thing I made extra. Come back in the kitchen. I'll get some for you.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Masha's just gonna stand there, look at the hardtack.
Yeah. So he gets kind of closer to the end of it, and he's just like, Ramasha, you've lost people and found people close to you. How do you handle the emotions? Because I've lost, friends, along the way, but that was part of the life, that was the, you lost your life on a job. It happens. That's what you signed up for. But this is unfamiliar territory for me.
Did you just ask that of Ramasha?
Yes.
As he said that, literally, I did too, but in character, Ramasha literally just started picturing all the bloodshed and all the carnage of those nights and every pirate he's ever ripped to pieces. And a little smirk comes across his face, but then he calms himself and looks up at you.
You need to find whatever way you can occupy your own mind within your mind to control yourself in the moment. For you
Is this
cannot
a self-help
control.
book?
What's that?
So this is a self-help book situation.
Yes.
Basically,
Ramasha.
Roland needs this at this point.
Yep.
So yeah.
In that moment, that is for Roland tonight. This is Roland now. Roland now needs to worry about Roland now. In the meantime, it also kind of helps to think of heads you have smashed.
Well,
Gonna do your little
considering I'm
giggle.
Yeah.
well, considering that what's occupying Roland now is seeing my grandson that I've not seen in years, decades. I want to be excited and be hopeful that he's there, but I feel like the higher I get thinking about that, the more crushing it'll be if he's not. And I don't know how to balance that. And this is really hard for me to process.
With that, especially with that, Ramash is going to really see just that look, that how deep Roland is in that right now. He's in that hole that he cannot climb out of. There's no controlling himself in this moment. It's well beyond that. Ramash is going to take a moment to try and grasp at a straw and start singing a song that should be known amongst everyone. It's a happy song to everyone that is close to the sea, beyond the sea, or in harbors anywhere. That he quite imagines that Roland knows, especially having been working in a tavern.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have that song? No.
Well,
I
love that
song. It's fine.
With-
It's fine. I get it, and like I think, kind of like thinking about that along with the hug, and just like, thinking about, like, you singing the song to help calm him down, and Dominic being there, and Ashrin remembering that, like, he's still got to be there for her,
Yeah.
and then,
I think as soon as I would start singing that, another crew member would start singing it, and then it would just be this trickle effect of the entire ship would end up singing it, and whoever knew it would be singing it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, so like hearing everyone sing it and then thinking about like us, and even Olga, who's been kind of pulled into all of this because of what she's gone through, and he's gonna start kind of losing himself in the song and then start singing along with it. And
Nice.
just kind of being like, all right, yeah, I just gotta get there and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like where I'm thinking, because it's like, I gotta keep myself cool for... It's stupid, but he's thinking, I gotta stay cool for everybody else. And I gotta, like, maintain as best as I can.
That's at least getting back to himself a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
And then when we about wrap up the song, I'm gonna look at Ramasha and just say, "Thank you, my friend," and I'm gonna hold out my arm.
You gonna do the face thing?
Yeah, clasp hands, pot of face. I'm sorry.
His spot's like as big as.
And then Robert Redford nod.
Love it.
Dominic's right there. So yeah, I know that one.
He's just vibing.
Same pirate goes walking by. Oh, we're doing something in it.
I'm now picturing the meme of the guy with the butterfly and be like, "Is this male bonding?"
Yes.
I
So now
love
we
that.
get
Is
to
it
that
more
with
ones?
Ramasha and a butterfly or a lizard.
Yeah.
And then
If
I
it's
will like,
Ramasha, there's a butterfly on his nose, and his
Yeah.
eyes are like looking at it.
there you go. And then I'm gonna like after I finish up, after we finish all that, I'm gonna take my plate and walk it back to the kitchen and drop it off in whatever bin is the to be cleaned bin or whatever.
Yep. Alrighty. So it's a pretty, unless there was anything else people were waiting to say, it's a pretty uneventful rest of the afternoon.
And I think Roland's gonna be like way more chill and like back to normal, like even like cracking jokes and stuff.
Yeah, I got that food back in your stomach, and you're feeling more yourself, it seems.
Yeah.
And Ashrin, so did you hang out upstairs all day?
Mhm.
Sort of just
yeah,
like
I
in
think
that
she would
zone?
have been watching the the novelty of a new place, watching that just go by.
Yeah,
and
and
listening
you're
to the
kind of getting a
sounds
tour,
and
of the southwestern part of the island because you're close enough. Not that you could see all the details, but you can really see the coast, the geography of the coast, I guess.
yeah, and I would suspect like the ecology of it is fairly different, right? So like different, like I don't know if it's a
Birds
palm
and
tree sort island or ferns or
it is
whatnot.
temperate, so it is like these like towering old like pines and other temperate types of trees, but they seem very old and very like wind worn, like
Okay.
not like a lush forest that you would be used to.
So like an old growth forest as opposed to probably what's been like logged and replanted and stuff.
Yeah,
over
not
the
only
years.
old growth, but yeah, and also just the fact that it's been wind worn, whereas something inland is not going to experience something like that as much because this is a very small
Okay.
island. Because you've seen
So-
like you saw the beginning of the coast in the morning, and you've seen throughout the course of the day almost the whole island.
Mhm.
What about creatures?
So yeah, she's just
Sorry.
watching.
Yep. So I move you guys closer. And as you do come along that last U of the journey, you can probably just barely see if you were really focusing on them, but I think you were just kind of taking it in. You might be able to just barely see some of the coastal stuff, coastal animals and stuff, but only
yeah,
if
I
you're
don't
really
know that
trying.
she would have been. Yeah, I don't know
Maybe
that she
Aoife
would
went
have
off
been really
looking.
Yeah.
It
That's
is
possible.
close enough that she wouldn't even be out of sight if she went flying around to check out.
And
the
you can
coast.
see through her eyes, right?
Only to 100
Good.
feet, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like 100 or 120 feet. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a short
Gotcha.
distance, relatively short distance.
Now, are there any creatures that are just native to this island, like puffins or some kind of?
I mean, it's an island, so they have a little bit of like unique, normal types of animals. Not super unique, just like slightly island, adapted, and it's the same, almost this. It's not far in is it longitude this way, from where you were. So, not puffins.
I mean, you could also have like the puffin otter things that are in Star Wars. There, I can't remember what they're called.
Puffin. No.
I'm not
Porgs.
an expert on nature, but I mean,
That was awesome. Puffins.
Probably not
Like-
puffins, but like yes, there's seabirds. Yes, there's some probably
Okay.
porpoises.
I
and
wasn't
stuff
sure
like
if there was
that,
something
and
special like Madagascar. That's still in
It's-
line with everything
no.
else, but they're the only ones.
You're not out in the middle of nowhere. It's not a completely
Okay.
isolated island. But yeah, I mean, you can still see like the normal seabirds and stuff that are a little different than you would have seen in Hazelport. Anyone, especially that hasn't been here, the birds do look a little different and stuff like that. Was there anything left before we start to head into dinner and bed?
I'm good.
Ashrin, did you go straight down to dinner or did you hang back on top of the deck?
I think she probably would have hung out on the deck for a little bit more privacy, to maybe try to talk to her patron a little bit more actively. Like once the sun's setting and people are heading down to grab dinner.
Yeah,
I think that's what she would be doing.
Yeah, and as you see the last few sort of people, there's someone, climbs down from working on the sails. It's like, aren't you coming to dinner?
Be down in a sec.
All right, don't miss it. I'm going to eat your plate if you don't. And he, runs off. And as you can see, because dinner time is, especially this close to home, is one of the times that really the deck is pretty barren. So as you're sort of, taking in the sun has been setting this whole time, because basically they go to eat once the sun has set. And so you're sitting, basically somewhere near the stern of the boat, and you've been watching the coast, and make a perception check.
Yeah. 18.
Nice.
See, everybody
Good
gave
job.
you their energy tonight.
Right?
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys.
Spirit bomb. Spirit bomb.
So you're sort of like in that mode still from earlier, and you can hear some sort of rustling behind you as you are sort of like coming back to the moment after sort of either daydreaming or just looking at the coast for a little while.
I would turn around.
And just sort of apparently just there behind you, and what you had heard was, because she's sort of like twirling, is your patron, and she sort of stops twirling. She's like, "Oh, you noticed? It's rather pretty out here."
It's quite lovely, yes.
Could she done some more?
Yeah. Just like a
bit
little
of
kid.
jingling from her jewelry and stuff like that. A little bit of rustling from her skirt. Have you been enjoying
you
your
noticed
journey?
It's been eye-opening and very interesting seeing the different just stuff. We saw a sea monster. That was really cool. Something with big
A sea monster? Are you okay?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It
obviously you're okay.
I'm fine. It was actually quite thrilling. I know that. Well, it was also kind of sad because there was a shipwreck and it had eaten most of the people, I think, on the shipwreck. But we managed to save a couple. So that was rewarding, I guess. And I probably shouldn't be as excited about seeing the sea monster as I was.
Well,
But
if you lived after seeing a sea monster, I believe some excitement is warranted.
That's
She
fair.
sort of-
It was, yeah.
Condescending bitch.
That was, well, she'd have to insight check, but
I don't know that Ashrin would for something like that, but
while she's in the moment,
yeah. But no, it's been really interesting. One of the people that we rescued actually has a lot of, well, I don't know if she has connections, but she was on her way to Emerald Shores, which seems to be an important place
the
potentially.
loveliest city in this world that I know of.
That's what she said also.
They've had quite a time to build up their treasures and then let that spill over onto the city itself.
That is what I gathered. I tried to get like a family history from her, and it seemed very long and complicated.
Yes, well, royal families do tend to be.
That is what I've gathered. That does remind me, though. About a week ago or something, I had a dream that was a bit unusual, and it was right after that Aoife came. And she'll kind of indicate the owl.
She's beautiful. She holds her hand out. If Aoife will land on her hand.
I think Aoife would.
She sort of like looks at her. She looks at her in awe. She's like, "Ah, you have chosen a good companion, and this is a good companion to have chosen you." She sort of sets it down on the railing.
I think it was more her choosing me than anything else, but that same night that she came, I had this dream, and then Ashrin's going to describe as best as she can the dream that she had, focusing mostly on the description of the elven lady and the names that she heard. Because I think that's what would have triggered her. And she also would particularly mention, they said something about this unseelie court. I don't know. It was a bit confusing. I hadn't heard those terms before. And kind of describe that.
Yeah. So as you started the telling, she was sort of like, preening with Aoife, looking out at the ocean, looking at you, enjoying your story, like looking raptured. And as you continue and start talking about that kind of stuff, she sort of like looks a little more serious. And she's like hanging on your every word in a way that you haven't seen before. And she's like, "Oh dear, that sounds like an awful dream."
It was so vivid and felt very real in a way that I've not had a dream before. And I was wondering if any of that was real. And I thought that you might be the person who might know.
I believe you may have given me the greatest gift of all, with so much to think about. She sort of like makes you repeat the names you can remember, and like repeat the other points that they had mentioned about the Unseelie Court and things like that. She's like, I see. Lady Camus. I do know that name. I haven't heard it in so very long. I do believe I might be able to help you get some information on this, but I need to make sure that this is who I think we're talking about. Unfortunately, I don't know how much research you've done on the Seelie and the Unseelie Court, but my poor misguided sister has less than stellar intentions with her people, and my goal is simply to look after my people. Which is what I intend to do with you, my dear Ashrin. I am so very sorry that you've had these awful visions. I also might look into seeing if I can find you a charm to keep those awful visions at bay, should you feel the need to use it. I think I might have something. I don't have it with me. It's not something I plan on bringing everywhere I go. I wonder, do you feel a connection to this woman?
I don't know that I feel a connection, but I did a bit to particularly this Vladimir or Kamir that she was describing. It felt, I don't know, it felt not familiar exactly, but because I've never heard those names before, but the situation, and I don't know, it felt there was something there.
Yes, there have been some unsavory marriages in my realm throughout the millennia. I must return to I must consult with some of my history keepers to confirm some of these things, but as I said, I've taken note of these names, and should you have another dream, do try to reach out to me. I felt as if you were trying to reach out to me earlier. I do have a lot going on, but I do think
Expected as much.
I do think that's the first time that you've reached out to me, so I'm very proud of you. It seems that your powers are growing, and that is so exciting. It works differently for every one of my wards.
It just seems like there was enough very powerful magic being done in that dream that if anybody would know anything about it, it would be you. And because I'm trying to find information about my father, and this seemed connected in some way, and
Yes, I actually do have a feeling that this is connected. You may have been able to give me the tip that I needed to finally confirm some of the information I have been trying to find for you.
Oh.
I think that this is a very, very good opportunity for all of us. But I am going to have to do some research on this. But where you have been able to sort of reach out, I don't know what you were doing at the time, but it sounds like you've been following your lessons. And if you if you need to speak to me again, just do that again, and we'll see if it comes through. Oh, and if you need to speak to me, it might help. And she sort of like reaches around in her bag. If you hold on to this, and she hands you a golden bracelet, not like any one that you've ever given her. It is pristine. It's very thin, very fine, but very plain, almost like a little vine wristlet that's made of pure gold from what it looks. She says, since this is connected to me, it should help you focus your energy.
That's fantastic. I will definitely, and she'll is it like a bangle or like
yep,
a
it's like a little bit,
like
a very
bangle?
fine bangle. Yep.
All right, then she'll slide it right on and kind of, because she has a bunch of bangles anyway, she'll kind of like mix it in with the bangles so it's like maybe not obvious, but that she knows that it's there.
Yep. Perfect. If you do have another dream that involves anything like this, because the magic you described at the end there sounds to me like time magic, and that's dangerous.
That's what it
magic.
looked like. It was. I mean, that poor woman disintegrated in a matter of seconds. Hundreds of years worth of time, it looked like.
And it takes a very long time to make any time magic last like that. I don't know how much you know about magic. Maybe we can do some lessons, or I can find you some reading material. But it sounds like you might want to start learning more about time magic.
I guess so.
In your free time, of course. I will also get my researchers on this. I haven't heard of someone using time magic like that on this plane. I don't recall ever. So I'm hoping that this is simply maybe a prophecy, maybe something that we can get ahead of, and not you're viewing actual events.
I don't know how I feel about that. I've never had any sort of premonitions or anything like that. That's
yes, they can be overwhelming. But the best thing about a prophecy or a premonition is that a lot of times the person that has the prophecy or the premonition doesn't have to get involved with solving it. So we shall see, my dear.
I feel like there's some, if it's something that hasn't happened yet, don't I have some responsibility to the people involved that are harmed?
You bring up an interesting question. You bring up so many interesting questions, Astrum. Well, if I have any word one way or the other, I'll be sure to let you know so you don't dwell on it. And I do ask that you don't dwell on whether it's happened or not yet now. I'm just saying, maybe if it is a prophecy, it's something we can get ahead of. I've taken the notes. I will look into this. I wanted to tell you that the next place that I thought that you should be moving was actually going to be north, and you seem to have gone south. But with this information, plans may change. You're quite an interesting one, Ashrin. Hard to figure out sometimes. But it's a fun puzzle. Ooh, this should be some rather exciting times ahead, I guess. She's sort of like looking off.
What was in the north, like north on Abruth, or?
Yes, the city of Sunmarsh Port has had an interesting going on, and I think that I had thought that might be connected to the thread I was following. Admittedly, somewhat loosely. But it may be confirmed with this added information here. Those names, Vladimir. I'll have to ask about that one. And you've asked her before about Shirik, right?
Yes, I would have asked her about Shirik and the Feywin.
Yeah, and you think this man is Shirik?
I don't know. I mean, from what I gathered from the dream, that Vladimir and Kamir were the same person. That maybe names were changed or something along those lines. And I know that happened with the Emerald Shores royal family. And
one generation.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't know if that was just the royal family or if that was like an elven nobility thing at the time. And I don't know if they're connected, but it just felt too coincidental.
For sure. That generation was when the royals of the Emerald Shores first expanded their influence out of the material plane. So I can only imagine there was name changes happening everywhere for that family. I know of many. That whole generation changed. When they changed the last name, lots of folks changed their first names as well. But also people give fake names often. Make an insight check.
That is very nice. That's a 22.
Holy
Finally rolling.
Holy crap!
I know.
Let's go.
About time. And if I'm gonna roll well, this is the conversation I want to roll well during.
So you can easily gather, in a way that she seems to have done before, but sort of that you're catching wise because she's been so forthcoming with this conversation that she's not being forthcoming with that part.
With the part about
not that it's deception, but that she was just being very vague about that when she was talking about the marriages and when they expanded their influence and stuff.
Okay. Okay. Vague. Got it. I underlined vague. I don't know why.
And on that high insight check, you also sort of realize this is the first time she's physically given you a gift and also not asked you for a gift when she saw you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She's sort of looking out to the ocean. She's like, well, my dear, you've given me much to get working on. I hope you're safe on the rest of your journey. If you need to reach me, please do try, especially if you have another dream like that, or any dream that you think is related to this. And when I have more information, I shall attempt to reach out to you. Miss, I don't want to talk to you right now.
It was a difficult week that week, and I guess I had realized a little bit more about our deal that I hadn't realized, and it was uncomfortable.
I see. I do see your powers are expanding. Once again, very good job.
I try.
This royal clap again.
Thanks. If there's anything else that you find out, please do let me know. I'll do my best to get back when I can.
Yes, get back safely. That's the most important part here. She says, all right, my dear, I shall connect with you soon then. And she sort of just starts walking away, and as soon as she's out of the light that is there, she just sort of disappears.
Mm-hmm. And Ashton is gonna just kind of stand there and watch her walk away and be playing with the bracelet. That conversation went way differently than any other conversation I've ever had with her, and now I'm confused, sort of way.
Yeah, you had never seen her look
weird.
genuinely concerned and being genuinely playful that wasn't in a just like a oh silly mortal kind of way, which
Yeah.
she went back to many
She
times.
didn't like tell me I looked tired or something like that. And now I'm like, she didn't make a single comment about my appearance, and that feels weird.
All right.
And then I think Ashford at that point, after standing there for a few minutes, kind of like playing with that bracelet and then being a little bit confused.
On his shoulder or something.
And and Aoife comes and probably starts like grooming her hair a little bit, and then she's like, "All right," and we'll turn around and go down for dinner.
All right. And a very lively dinner is probably being had by the freedmen. And so anyone who wants to just lean into the energy is very welcome to. Amara is glad for the distraction, as are Henry and Aaron in different ways. All of the freedmen are super excited. And yeah, go ahead, Roland.
So Roland is going to be jovial and storytelling, but he's going to be telling Miro stories.
Ooh, stories like when he was little, or like as he.
I mean, any story about like, oh man, I remember when Ruby brought him home for the first time, and I saw that look, and I was like, you are either going to save the world or destroy the world, just stuff like that, And I'd be like, oh, there was this one time where he almost got run over by a cart because he was too busy trying to stop a bully, and just stuff like that.
Yep.
Stories like that.
Yep. People are singing songs, passing drinks.
Yep.
Which Dominic actually has to make a Constitution check if he engages in.
Oh.
Who said he was drinking?
If he engages in, I said.
One.
One drink. One little one.
Do I need a Constitution on one?
Yep.
I'm 6 foot tall.
Everybody does. And then
Oh,
certain
come
races
on.
have advantage on those saves. Like dwarfs and stout halflings. Or I think most halflings.
All right. Well, then I better roll my Constitution.
That'll be.
You'd have advantage.
You darn
We're rolling
tootin' I would.
Constitution for
If you're drinking.
22.
After that
There
conversation,
you go.
Ashford is definitely drinking. Constitution save?
Yes.
16.
23! I beat Dominic at something!
There's the first time for everything.
You're all feeling good, and Dominic, you feel the burn like you didn't that whole week, but you don't feel like really drunk or anything. You just feel the warmth in your belly and stuff like that.
Mm.
And everybody else, old hats, it seems. And then Ashrin going into it a little bit sort of revved up, sort of down in that drink. You feel extra warm, but you don't feel intoxicated.
Tingly.
Yep. All right.
I could just totally picture too. I'm totally like making sea shanties in my head of what everyone's singing right now. It's great.
Heck
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I just remembered, because I was adding that gold bangle to my inventory, that at this point in the journey, Ashrin's hair looks like a rat's nest because she forgot her hairbrush. And I think that's probably the thing that is the most weird about that conversation is Ashrin, especially with this wind and the sea air, like she probably was pretty wild
She's now
looking.
thinking like, wait,
You
was this like a
grooming her every
pity
once
thing
in a
that she
while?
didn't say anything about?
Yeah, like now Ashrin's like, because like it's getting to the point where like if you have long hair and you gotta like run your fingers through it and your fingers kind of don't run through it.
And sea breeze.
Me always.
Yep,
Exactly.
Salty, and you got sweaty during that fight.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very, very, very much. Yeah.
I just remembered that.
For those of you who were not here or don't remember it, Ashrin packed very quickly for this trip and forgot a few things. Brought a few very important things, but also forgot a few what some might think are trivial, but have now become important things and might become important otherwise.
Yep.
So now you're thinking back, trying to think. You can make a history check to see if she made a face when she first looked at you.
I'm definitely
you
gonna
saw
do that.
That you saw.
Because I just remembered it. So That's a 21.
Yeah, let's
It's
go.
the dice
Whoa.
tower.
Right.
It's the dice tower.
So now that
And
you're
I'm not using it actually.
Oh, never mind.
Because it was so loud. Sorry,
It's
go
the
ahead,
dice
Kaylee.
tower.
now that you're thinking about
It's
it,
the energy.
as you first turned around and she was spinning and she set eyes on you, there was sort of like a little, oh, Ashrin, how are
She
you
didn't
doing?
say anything. So weird.
You look so good.
Look at
She also
look
did
at
not say
look
that
at
you
that
looked good.
horizon.
She did not tell you that you looked good.
Look
No.
at you.
But usually, other interactions, she finds a
Yep.
way to make little snide, like, you should
Yep.
get more sleep, I think. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
And
stuff
there
like
was two
that.
conversations in a row where you were like, "Hey, back off," you know. So
So, yeah. I expected more snark from her.
maybe she was pitying you.
Anyway, maybe.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't
so-
want to interrupt. I
no,
just
you're good.
remembered
So yeah,
that.
as she's thinking about that, and anyone who else who kind of realizes that
no,
Ashrin
so-
is a little more unkempt than normal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna assume that my 16 passive perception will notice her coming down the stairs, even though I'm storytelling.
Yeah. And
okay.
that she's late.
So,
She's also the last one down the stairs by
yeah.
quite a few
So,
minutes.
so I'm going to so I'm gonna like stop a story and I'm gonna see Ashrin, and then I'm gonna like kind of shush everyone down for a second, and I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand not on the table but on like the steps, so I'm like, you know, as tall as Dominic, and say, folks, let us raise our glasses to Ashrin the Squid Killer.
You're all very sweet. I appreciate it.
Lila's
And then I'll
like,
go-
yeah, you got that so many hits on that thing. You're the reason it didn't come crack this boat in half.
I don't
So-
know about that. I wasn't the
so-
only one.
So 3 cheers for
she'll-
Ashrin.
Yeah,
Hip, hip,
and she'll
hooray.
nod
Hooray.
to. I've already forgotten her name. Lila.
Lila.
Is
Yep.
Lila? Yeah, she'll nod to Lila as well and kind of raise her glass in that direction, in her direction.
Hooray!
And then I'll go back to whatever story I was telling about when Miro got kicked out of school for punching a teacher.
Oh God.
And
Well, let's
Ramash
love
is
to
going to
hear that
stand up
one.
at that point and just get everyone's attention.
Everyone, listen. This is our last night together on this ship. We'll soon be home with our families. We'll soon be introducing our new families to our old family. This is a wonderful time. Let us celebrate together. Unite and drink merrily. Hold your glasses high. And let us begin.
Sure.
What do we do when we
Huzzah.
see land? Way, hey we go. We get ready in the boats and land. Way, hey we go. What do you do when you see a lass? Run away or she'll grab your ass. Way, hey!
Scoots closer to last.
Hello.
Amara's like, oh. All right, folks, why don't we take our last break here real quick, and then we shall get onto the island of Wave, and I think let's do it. Everybody,
Let's go.
Land ho!
Land ho!
Get your stretches in, get a drink, go potty, do all that stuff, and we shall see you very soon. Enjoy our clips. We gotta make a new clip reel, so make sure you take some clips.
All the clips.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
bad.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You do also call everyone.
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond.
We're having a butcher's for some real bucks that have been half-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your cart?
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on like
We made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
Is I'm not
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Did you hear it in your mind? Did you hear it on my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. That's it. Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so, just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're all so blown out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red. This is my happy vein. My happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, "Impressive. So happy."
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, "Thank you."
Bye.
Bang bang.
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have
All
a
right.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm.
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was.
Oh no, so they didn't hear the.
Pro
Yeah.
strip.
Professional streamer.
Absolutely professional.
Yeah.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Well, friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
right.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right, right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Alright.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first?
Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right, we were
onto-
tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car.
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on like
We made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Did you hear it in your mind? Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
rock
basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to see it.
Yep, he kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls
it?
it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start it.
You got to perform, but outside of that, yeah.
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rules less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Now this Goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Y'all were like, whoa, what are you doing? So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Oh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you don't
literally
know
right.
about.
Like,
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
y'all.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah, that's very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I
Oh,
mean for
God.
another hour.
Looks like that. I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
I'm above average.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you for your patience. Welcome back to Reality Break 20 as we finish up this last run of playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I hope you had a nice break. We have
Dungeon.
some
And dragons.
we have had a
dragons.
little bit of an exciting update. A very beautiful lady came to visit Astrid as she was contemplating her life out on the waves, and there was some interesting dynamics and interesting information shared, and maybe some interesting information withheld. As Astrid sort of had a new type of experience with her patron, as she has sort of started stepping into a new sort of relationship with her powers in this sort of part of her journey. So she had come back down after that very interesting conversation with her patron, where her patron left her with a gift and the promise of coming back with information, and only the request to let her know if she finds more information, which was quite an interesting experience for Astrid.
Ashford is definitely unsettled by it. Like,
Yeah.
a little.
Far more of a comforting view than has ever been seen from this person. And also a little bit of a distasteful look at the very beginning of the chat, as realizing that Miss Ashrin is quite unkempt without her hairbrush on the open seas. What
You
you
pack
gonna
it
do?
curry, that's what you get.
I'm trying to brush her hair with the glass eye. Like, I don't think this is gonna work.
Actually, what did she bring that she might have been able to?
You could use a dingle hopper.
And, would prestidigitation not work?
It cleans
It's a
something. Yeah.
It cleans, so her hair is clean. It's just very tangled.
But it's not clean if it's.
She's probably been using her hands and running it through and trying to finger comb
Yeah,
and doing
like-
prestidigitation at the same time. But yeah, it's still like got some of those tangles that, like, when you sleep in a ponytail and then there's like that little bit of a, it's not a rat's nest, but it's like all kinked up, you know?
Oh no, it's a rat's nest.
I don't know.
I don't think the golden monocle without a lens is going to help much in this situation.
No.
Try to do some heatless curls.
And I don't think Olga would let you borrow a fork from the kitchen.
She can sneak one
It's
in
a
and-
dingle hopper.
But so
Yeah.
Astrid made her way down late to dinner, which was noticed. And Roland was like, let's hear it for Astrid taking down that squid, which was heartily
The
agreed.
squid killer.
Yep.
The squid killer.
Lila agreed, sort of seconded that and said, all those shots you took at it was excellent. And Ashrin sort of lifted up Lila and said, don't forget yourself because you're taking some shots too. So yeah, and wonderful dinner is had. The party's sort of just having some fun. Roland's telling stories about Miro, his grandson, from birth to the last time he saw him.
And I am going to mention in the story that I tell him to think with his head, not his heart. I point out that line.
Yeah, and there's some that are like, yeah, and there's some of the wiser folks are like,
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. These young kids,
And there are some pirates that are like, which one? The
mention of these young kids, Dominic had just taken a big drink and he just huh?
Oh.
All right, everyone's sort of settling in. Did Olga make a special pie for this night, or is she going to make one on the island?
She made a simple pie, just for tonight.
Yep. Last night on the ocean for some of y'all's first trip not across the big sea, but as far across the big sea as you've ever been.
Valid.
And quite an interesting one at that. Just sort of
welcome to the ocean.
Telling some stories, singing some sea shanties. Ramasha led the crew in a song. Everyone just enjoying themselves, sort of celebrating into the night as they kind of kept the sails going so that they could get themselves to dock as soon as possible.
Everyone falls asleep and the boat just slowly goes up on land.
Well, and the way this sort of works, so is there anything else anyone needed to cover before basically going to bed after anyone who's helping would also sort of help guide, be getting the boat on the right track? But it would be left to the last few that have done this time and time again, docked the boat.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So anyone who goes to bed after dinner or whatever. And those of you that are staying up to watch, it's sort of like as dinner was had and was a little bit dark already. So it's, solidly midnight as you sort of make your way up north again. No one can sort of see the island anymore other than the shadows on the horizon. And as you sort of come in, you can start to see some blots of light at the docks. You can hear a bell dinging, not like a giant loud bell like you would hear in the harbors of Hazelport, just a very small bell, like a distant as you come in, and it gets a little louder as you come in. So it's not one that travels very, very far. And on the boat, there's a responsive bell that one of the crew rings. It's a very plain, very average bell that the crew rings in response. And there's a lot of commotion tonight, and at the same time, some people just went to bed, like Amara and her folks went to bed, and there was a couple of crew that went to lay down after dinner so that they would be, because they didn't have anything else to do. Well-oiled machine yet again. The Sticky Wicket crew working together. Ramasha back in his element. Mugwort, Lila, and all the other crew sort of shouting to each other, tossing ropes as the large main dock of the island of Wayhaven comes into your view for those who are watching, and the hustle and bustle of folks bringing the ropes in and lowering the anchor, and there is a small shack. Oh, go ahead.
So, you must excuse my timeline. Is this happening after dinner, or is this happening in the middle of the night?
After dinner. Well, middle of, yeah. So dinner, everyone took their time, hung out, cheered, sang, blah, 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 blah. Some folks went to bed and everyone else went back up to lead the sails, to keep the sails going all night long. So it's solidly midnight-ish that you make your way up.
So, all right, so... Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out what Roland would have done. So I was just trying to figure out timeline. So he probably would have been one of the ones to go to bed.
Okay. Nervous energy, deciding to just ride the high of having been relaxed and not
probably
invite the
just
nervous energy back in.
More than anything, probably just exhausted because it was a very emotionally tiring day for him. So he probably ended it on a good note, and then is like, oh, "Holy crap, I'm tired."
Yep. Passes out in a hammock down below. A
Basically.
little bit of anyone who's a light sleeper definitely hears a lot of more commotion than anyone had trying to sleep on this boat before. Just because everyone's working, trying to get this done. Yeah, so anyone else specifically go to bed?
I think Ashrin probably did.
Okay.
Yeah, Dominic probably did as well.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to roll my animal handling check?
Sure can.
Okay. My animal.
What are you going to say to him today?
Hey.
Hi.
Did you bring more food?
And rolled a 9.
Oh, a 9. Oh. So he's a little skittish.
That's the lowest I've
very
rolled.
loud today.
Sorry. I do have more food, and I give him some of my chips that I stowed away.
Oh, that's greasy. He's like, it's
Oh
so
yeah,
loud
I
today.
like it.
Why is it so loud today?
We're getting where we need to go. For now.
What does that mean?
Land.
What happens
more
when we
ship.
get where we need to go?
Nothing. If you want to still be my friend.
Well, friends bring food. Is it gonna not be loud anymore when we get where we need to go?
I can't make that promise.
Oh. Okay. So when we get where we need to go, you're going somewhere and I'm going with you, or I'm going somewhere, or I'm going home and you're going somewhere?
Well, home for you isn't there anymore because you got on the ship. So I can take you with me if you want to come. If you don't, I understand. I would still like you to come with me because I think that we could possibly be good friends later on and maybe help each other in the future.
He sort of licks his eye and he's like, all right, well, I'll eat this for now. Just make sure that nobody steps on me for now. He's
No,
sort of like-
no one will step on you.
I like the lizard.
Starts dragging the food down into the little den, which he dug deeper today, you notice. Like, you can't see him anymore once he gets all the way in.
Okay.
Sound barrier.
Yeah.
I have to give Kaylee huge props because your mannerisms as the lizard are amazing.
Yes.
Agreed.
They really, really
Agreed.
are.
On point.
I do love the lizard, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Your mannerisms and the voice you use and the inflection you use as Ezekiel is amazing. So I want to give you, your props. That's awesome.
Kudos.
You get inspiration.
Yeah.
It'll
DM
be my
inspiration.
birthday
Yeah,
inspiration next week.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, in this hustle and bustle, like I said, anyone who is up on the deck can sort of see to Ramasha and all of the crew. It's a very familiar sight of the lookout tower and the shack on the right on the shore. Probably been fixed up a bit, but maybe not completely. Nothing was probably completely torn down. I would imagine because you probably didn't want to waste, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So obviously y'all didn't see it before.
We don't want to give away any signs either that it has been altered. It's
Right.
just ours now.
Right. Not falling apart, not decrepit, but nothing fancy. But the lights are all lit and the bell was up in the watchtower, had been, they stopped ringing it once you were close enough and everyone could shout at each other. And you can see another dozen freedmen, all different races, shapes, and sizes, all tossing ropes, catching ropes, tying them off, getting the board ready for people to get out. And everyone's like, hey, brother! Whoa, you made it! Welcome home!
All right. So, how long would anybody that went to bed have slept before we docked?
Probably 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Can I make an entrance?
What do you mean?
Like, I want to be like ready as we're like getting up to it and so forth. And I'm like looking at everybody. I run right to the back of the ship, grab a rope, try to swing out over the dock, do a flip in the air, and then land. And hey!
All right, make an acrobatics check.
Thank you. I have a +7.
He's gonna fall in the water.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my
I have
god!
a +7.
Remember, Chrissy
No,
stole all
come
your
on.
energy tonight.
For his hometown, he should almost get advantage on this because he's coming home.
That's true.
He'll get advantage on the reaction.
That's
no
a
matter
19.
what
He has like
you
a
do.
home court
Ooh,
advantage.
nice.
19. Yep.
There you go.
So
That's
yeah,
good.
you know jump up, grab the rope, swing down, do the flip. Everyone's like, "Yay, Masha, you're back! Hey!" Everyone starts.
Hey!
You're like surrounded
It
by
is
people
good to
just
see you all.
putting
Welcome.
hands on your shoulders and like just trying to like. Yeah.
Everybody's putting their paws
Yeah.
on each other's faces.
And doing the Robert Redford.
Everything's quiet and just we're all nodding.
That's the Friedman greeting. That's the shake handshake.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so
All
I
right.
think Roland would have woken up once the ship stopped moving. That's when I would have woken up.
So
Once the fan turns off.
technically, the ship
basically, yeah.
doesn't ever stop moving. I don't know that.
Well, once it stopped, like, because the boat moves different when it's like moving
it
in the
would
water
probably get
versus sitting at a
quiet.
dock.
Probably
Yeah.
more the lack of commotion after so much commotion would be what sort of like woke you up. Like you realize it's so quiet. So right
Yeah.
after everyone sort of hopped off the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone
I'd say
who wants to have woken up to that can. Otherwise, you can sleep through. And people.
Yeah, I think
may or may
Dominic's
not
gonna
come to
sleep
wake you
through
up.
it.
Yep.
Are
I'm
the-
gonna roll a check to see if let me see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be Constitution, maybe?
It would be Constitution, and this would be mid-range. I would say you could call it a 10.
And if I got a 5.
So maybe you were kind
my
of
good rolling is over. Yeah,
There it
so
goes.
I,
Stole it from you, they
Ashrin
stole it back.
sleeps through the whole thing.
Yeah, and for
Which at
Roland,
any
he
point,
kind
if
of like
you think of something like if you hear something or whatever, you're like, oh, this would wake Ashrin up. Otherwise, you can wait till someone wakes you up.
All right, we'll see.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So at this point, it's like Roland kind of wakes up because of the the silence, and the boat is rocking differently, maybe because.
Yeah.
So then he wakes up, and then it's kind of like he wakes up, and then it's like, all right, that means you got to be here, which means I got to face this one way or another, and then I'm gonna kind of like gather up all my gear and kind of like do one big huff, and then kind of head my way up.
All right. Olga, what were you doing?
And Olga slept a little bit, but she's also kind of just mostly looking out on the dock. She kind of tried to sleep on the dock, and she sort of slept, but there was a lot of commotion.
Oh, so she sort of
Not on the
slept
dock, but
napped
on
up
the
top.
deck.
Yeah, on deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the quiet of the deck definitely would have woken her up. Or as far as like once everyone was off the deck and down, the
Mhm.
fact that it got further away could have woken her up if you want. Yeah. What does that look for?
I'm assuming that we have some kind of key word that we use if we should sink a pirate ship out there or something that and obviously if we can't go for anything right then, if we like rescue some slaves or something, it's like, all right, we can't go for all the loot right now, that we send out the crew to go get that loot, that we have like a salvage crew or something that goes and gets it. I'd like to
He's waving at you.
try and get that underway.
Okay, well, before that, Dominic, you said was sleeping, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ashrin was still sleeping. Okay. All right. Olga and Roland have woken up to the fact that it was quiet and realize as you climb up or wake up that everyone is sort of on the dock and starting to walk off the dock to go figure stuff out. It seems like they weren't going to wake anyone who was sleeping until it was necessary.
Okay.
I'm assuming everyone that was on that ship is still sleeping.
Anyone who was sleeping and didn't wake up on their own has not yet been woken, correct? And everyone that it was already on the dock, which is everyone except pretty much the party. And actually, the survivors are all sleeping too. But you have just started to make your way away from the dock itself and towards like the hut, the shack on the edge.
Okay.
Olga's gonna get up and just start walking towards everyone.
And yeah, the plank is laid down so you can freely walk up and down. Bruno's probably whining and jumps down and runs around, does some
Yeah,
circles.
Bruno's very
runs
excited to
probably down
be
to the
on
group
land.
and all the way back up. Like,
Up dog.
What's up, dog?
Who let the dog out?
say it in a
Yeah.
voice.
So, all right.
Sorry.
So I'm
That's
assuming
Gollum.
because my walk was a little bit farther that Olga's already off the boat. So when I walk up to the deck, so
yeah, she's
before
probably
I get
getting
on
down
the
to the
plank,
bottom of the plank.
Yeah.
You know.
So before I get to the when I'm gonna walk to the plank, how far away is the crowd that's kind of gathered around Ramasha and like the people as they were coming off? How far away are they at this point?
So the dock itself is about 100 feet long, and they're just towards the end of the dock, and the boat's towards the other end of the dock.
Okay, so they're on the end on land side.
Yeah, that's why it was so quiet.
Okay, so at about 100 feet away. Okay,
Because
so
they're not
I'm
being quiet. You can hear them now that you're up here.
Yeah, but if they're still like 100 feet away, like I'm gonna like try to stare to see if I notice anybody. Is it lit enough where I could like notice a particular
There are
person?
torches and stuff, so you can make a perception check.
Or would that be like too far? Like, would 100 feet be far
I'm
enough
not
away
sure if
that
that
would be
becomes
hard?
disadvantage or the DC just gets harder.
It's up.
So
oh, it's
you
up to
don't need disadvantage because it's not like super well lit, but it's lit, and you have dark vision.
Okay.
And they're not that far.
Okay.
And you know what you're looking for, I assume.
Perception. Perception. It's not as great as I want it to be. 16. Good,
Well, on a
but
16,
not great.
yeah, you're pretty sure you don't see any dwarfs among the group that is
Okay.
walking away from you.
All right. So then once again, I kind of squint, don't see a dwarf, do another huff, and then make my way down the plank.
And you can insight check or yeah, why don't you insight check at the same time?
On what? I mean, I'll do it.
On a
About to.
What I'm about to do on the dungeon on the dungeon master.
All right.
Nothing.
That's only a
on yourself.
10. That's
Well,
only
not
about it's a 10.
You realizing you just woke up, and he
Yeah.
doesn't like if he's here. He's not necessarily one of them yet, so he might not be here for a midnight boarding.
Sure. All right.
So,
So, it's like, all
You're
right.
not feeling downtrodden. You're just sort of like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. Well, and I wasn't feeling
Or
like
I didn't mean
super
to tell you
bummed.
that. Yeah.
No, you're fine. I wasn't feeling super bummed because like it was far enough away and and all that. But thinking about that, it's like, okay, well, yeah, maybe he's probably still sleeping because it's the middle of the night and us Longbeards, we were notorious sleepers and kind of like doing that stuff to myself to kind of like go,
moon is
it's
high in the
fine that he's
sky.
not. Yeah, it's like it's fine that I can't see him right now. So and then I'll walk down the plank and see Olga, then probably try to catch up with her.
Yeah. All right.
As I'm making these plans and like trying to get things underway with that, do I see Roland coming at me?
So you're going that way.
I'm facing the people.
And if you are the only one of the party that is with that group is you, correct? Everyone else was either sleeping or is just now joining you?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you had started talking openly about it in your codes now, you can make a perception check to if you hear Olga and or Roland coming, unless one of you is yelling out like, "Hey, wait for us."
I'm not.
I rolled a 2. I don't even know what it is.
You're too excited
no.
about the booty.
Okay.
You're telling your friends about.
Okay.
And their eyes are getting like, what?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As it is right now, it might be at the bottom. We're going to need the barrels for this one.
Oh.
Make sure the crew is ready. And,
at this point, I'm actually like starting to look back towards the ship to see if anybody's actually listening because I don't want anyone to hear this.
Okay. As looking back, you would see Olga coming towards you and Roland just deboarding.
Okay.
And what were you going to say, Roland?
Sorry.
Oh, the code. Your code word. There's a litter box that needs to be cleaned.
No.
God.
Yes.
Ashrin, what were you gonna say?
We need some litter
Oh,
scooped.
I think Ashrin's probably, I think, would be waking up around this time if there's a lot of commotion and yelling, and the ship, the motion of the ship has changed at this point. So,
Well, and the motion of the ship has changed, and actually, it's more that the commotion is absent because they've gotten so far away from the ship. So it was you had fallen asleep to the noise, and now the noise is gone. So you can either you can decide to wake up, or you can check again. Either way, up to you. But yeah, same.
Right.
That's why Roland woke up. That's why Olga woke up.
Is Olga like walking?
she's
right
still
up to me?
asleep. Never mind.
Sorry.
You
Uh-oh.
don't have to check. You can
Tuckered
just decide
out.
to wake up if you want next time.
Yeah, no.
Is Olga walking right up to me?
Or is she?
I mean, distance. Where's Olga right now?
She's probably halfway down the dock, and Roland is just leaving the ship.
Okay.
At this point.
So
that you
50
turn
feet
around.
away.
And so, Olga, you probably, unless he's yelling and screaming, you can't hear him. Plus, he's talking in the essential thieves' cant for their island. So
Yeah, and I'm not talking excessively quietly, but I'm not yelling either.
Ah, yes, my companions, please. We must let me introduce you to Olga, our newest companion, I believe. She
and
also
Bruno
has
had come running up to you beforehand. Yeah.
yeah, and her little furry one,
His whole body
Bruno.
shaking, wagging his whole body.
They have been used and abused by the black sails as well. We need to give them a warm welcome.
You can hear like just grumbles among your ship,
And
they
with
start
that,
cursing them, the black sails.
his eyes going to start to twinkle as soon as he's seeing Roland's coming off the ship and walking towards him. He's going to kind of just kind of eyeball how Roland's feeling right this second. But Ramash is going to be looking at Roland, but also looking for someone that would actually know who just came off of that ship.
Okay, so what are you going to say?
I want to ask whoever would know who had come off the
Half
ship.
the group is people from the ship, and half the group is people from the island. And yes, at least a handful of like anyone who's on the island and answering this talking might know.
The latest ship that came before we did, was there a dwarf?
There was a whole mix of them. They were all rebels from the south of Abrin.
Excellent. Did you get names?
Yeah, they all got names.
Is one of their names?
I'm sorry, the name just completely escaped me.
Miro.
Thank you.
Longbeard.
I was thinking Mirren for some reason, or anyway.
Is one of them Miro Longbeard?
Well, we haven't taken the list, but I think that sounds similar to someone that's around. There's a couple of dwarfs in the group.
He's gonna instantly like perk up, ears are perking up and everything, and look directly, make eye contact with Roland.
All right. And I'm going to be looking at him and
Look right past Olga's chopped liver. But that's okay because Bruno's all over her. He's doing laps across the dock.
Hi, Olga.
I mean, I figure at this point the other people would be like, "Hey!" on Olga at that point.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to, so I'm going to be walking up, and make eye contact and kind of like give one of those do one of those
who, me?
What do you no like? What's good?
Kind of like not fully the Robert Redford, but like a promising raised eyebrows, like this really could be it.
So once
all right, then I'm gonna
almost to Ramasha. That's another point where Ashrin could wake up again because now it's silent on the ship, and if that would wake up Dominic, he could wake up too.
Okay.
Yeah. So then at that point, if he gives like the reassuring, so if he gives like the reassuring nod like that, I'm gonna pick up like my, not like full on sprint, but to like a jog as opposed to just like a normal walking. So sorry, Ashrin, go ahead.
You catch up right to Olga, and you almost like slightly overtake her.
Is the person asking me why I asked?
Well, they're like, we got the list. I mean, you can meet them all in the morning.
This companion right here, my dear friend Roland, who's walking at us right now, that is his grandson.
Oh, one of the dwarves?
Long lost grandson. He will need to see him now.
All the dwarves, all the ones from the last one have been sharing one of the bunkhouses, so we can go wake them up. They might not. Some of them get grumpy, but anyone gets grumpy when they wake up.
If it is who I think it is, it's not going to matter.
I see. Sort of as Roland gets to the group would be Ashrin sort of like being able to wake up and make her way up. So you'd be like leaving the ship as they are all the way at the end of the docks. Everyone else is.
I'm assuming still everybody wants to try and talk to me and so forth.
They're all, chatting at you.
Okay,
and stuff like that.
literally, as soon as Roland's getting to me, go with him. Don't stop.
All right.
Go with him.
All right.
We're going to wake him up right now? Okay.
Right now. Yes. Absolutely. Good to see you as well.
Hey, friend.
Yeah, hello. Roland Longbeard. Pleasure. Okay, let's lead the way. I'm assuming Ramasha... I'm looking for... And it's like kind of guarded at first. He's like, I'm looking for someone and he might be here and I'm hoping that I get some answers.
Yeah, this is a middle-aged human that you're talking to. And he's like, well, my name's Ruck. I guess let's go wake them all up. They've been all sharing a bunkhouse, and this sounds like a reason to wake someone up.
He sleeps in a rucksack.
All right, so I'm going to follow Ruck.
All right, and at this point, as they are separating from the group and the rest of the group is staying at the end of the dock talking, Ashrin, at any point, you can catch up to them.
As we're walking away, I'm going to be like, Rabasha, can you have someone let Ashrin know where I'm going?
I'm on it. Don't stop talking to me.
Please.
Go.
Okay.
Go.
And I'm going to keep going.
And I think Ashrin would try to catch up to Roland if he sees him going, if she sees him going off with somebody that she doesn't know.
You wouldn't quite necessarily see what was going on until you got up to the group, at which point we can perception check to see if you can still see him walking away.
He's very short and amongst a tall crowd.
Is it still it's still the middle of the night?
It's pretty dark, yeah.
Okay.
They're stepping in. There's torches here, and actually, this is a human, so he is carrying a torch. So either way, you would see people going off, but you can perception check if you want to.
I have dark vision too.
Here. Yeah. Okay.
I was just going to ask that.
They're a little far from you by now, but you can kind of tell that they're quickly walking away, and the group here is talking excitedly.
Okay. However I do it, I would like to catch up to Roland.
You're just gonna, okay, I'm gonna go with Roland. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she starts coming after you guys as you are going, and Roland, you can probably. Okay. Are you gonna call out to him, or are you just gonna
straight down the road? Straight down the road. You can't miss them.
Ashrin, are you?
Thanks. I'm gonna head straight down the road, I guess.
Are you gonna call out towards them to wait, or are you just gonna go at them?
I think she would not call out and just like try to speed walk.
Okay.
Because she knows technically she's faster than Roland.
She is a little faster. Yep. Okay. So it'll even out. The humans sort of trying to match Roland's pace. I'm sure Roland is going a little faster than normal. So he's going about as fast as the human.
But even your speed walking will still probably catch up to us, depending upon how far away
she's jogging at all. Yeah,
bunkhouse
Roland's
is.
not running, right?
No, I'm like speed walking, but not like full. It's not a full-on sprint. So.
Yep. All right, it's going to be a little bit of a hike to where they're sleeping. Is anything important need to be talked about between Olga, Ramasha, the crew that's at the deck? Is Dominic waking up?
Yeah, Dominic would have woken up.
Yeah, just the pure silence. Like, no one's on the deck.
If
you
Dominic
sort of
is
have
coming
to make
out,
your way all the way to the end.
It's the same thing.
All the way at the end of the dock. Yeah.
It's got to be the same introduction
you can see Bruno,
as
though,
when
still making rounds.
Dominic came on the ship. Is like,
hey, my youngest friend.
And they're like, oh,
he's still sleepy-eyed, like, hello.
He just started drinking.
It's a good pastime.
Is it though?
It's a good present time.
He needs some coffee. Well, no, you can just go back to bed. Another
no
one
coffee.
says. All right, well, let's get you off to the bunkhouses. They already headed off. Let's go. It's going to be a little bit of a walk. And so they have a couple people stay at the docks for the folks that are still sleeping on the ship. the normal people, and they start putting out the lanterns on the docks so that it's only the few for the people that are awake and staying up for normal watch. And sort of the big group starts making their way, and they're at least 100 feet behind Roland and Ashrin as she eventually catches up to Roland and Ruck.
Rock.
Muck.
Yeah,
Ruck,
so
like
he's
Ruck.
like, as you're making your way, and you're probably sort of hoofing it, and he's sort of like just gently speed walking.
Walking normal.
Yeah, and Ashrin, as she catches up, you know, in the time it takes her to catch up to you, he's like, "Oh, so you've been chasing down one of the revolutionaries?"
Before he was a revolutionary, he was my grandson, and he left under, tenuous circumstances, and he's just, the kid has a big heart, but not the biggest brain, and I just want to make sure he's okay, and I hope that's him because the stuff that's been going on in the South. Stuff that's
All
going
over the
down by
world, my
Archdragon
friend.
Wharf, all over the world, exactly. So I don't know if I want him to come home or not, but if nothing else, I just want to make sure he's safe.
Well, I can tell you, I got to look a few black sails in the eyes as the life left them when we took those revolutionaries off the ship, so they can get back to their good work, or they can go home to their grandparents if they need to.
One can only hope. And then
And
I'm
at
guessing
that
at this
point,
point,
yeah,
Ashton probably
Ashrin would
catches
catch up. And you probably heard him talking about as I on that ship, I watched a few black sails, the life leave their eyes, and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna just give Ashrin a hug.
She's gonna put her arm around his shoulders.
And just be like,
Let's go.
This could be it. This could be it. Okay. Lead the way, Ruck.
All right. It's sort of truck, it's about a 20-minute walk from the docks to the bunkhouses, and he's trying to keep up his spirits, just kind of asking you questions about how the trip went, who you guys are, and stuff like that. The rest of the group, same sort of chatter.
Yeah, and I'm doing my best to lean into that as much as I can. So. And
so, as your torches come upon this grouping of houses, he sort of leads you past the first few and to the back house, sort of facing the rest. It's kind of like almost like you'd imagine a cul-de-sac, but it's more, or I guess a campground, like packed with like sort of like rows of little wooden houses. And he sort of leads you to this back one, and he comes up and he's like, well, no one's going to appreciate this because they've all been through a lot, but I suppose it's worth it. And he goes, boof, boof, boof on the door, opens it up, and he goes, wake up, boys. Got someone to see ya. And sort of like, whoa, you hear like, rah, rah.
All right, I walk in, kind of like shove him aside, and
start looking around. All right, there is 6 bunks in this room, so 12 beds, and all of them are full. So you're sort of like looking around, probably checking the bottom bunks, and as you see like a bunch of these bleary-eyed people sort of sitting up and looking around, at the back of the room on a bottom bunk, you see a very familiar face that has a very unfamiliar scar all the way across. Or not quite scar, more like healing wound across his face. Ah! And he looks up and he's like, Pops? And he's like rubbing the sleep out of his eyes. And he sits up. What are you doing here?
I'm sprinting over and hugging him. Like, that's it. No words. Tears down. Just that's it.
Everyone else in the room is just sort of like, what? Oh,
turn the lights out.
Yeah, and like I'm ignoring like anything and everything, and I am squeezing the life out of him, and just
he sort of like sits back a second. He's like, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
You're damn glad and I hug him again.
Hugs you back. just very aged face from what you remember, but you wouldn't mistake it. This face that
And
you
I'm gonna,
couldn't have seen again.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull him away, and I'm gonna say, before anything else, I have to ask you one question. What did you think with?
Looking at this
And
very
I'm
wounded
gonna
face.
and I'm gonna hold his what did you
Yeah,
think with?
and as you grab his face, like one of your fingers sort of trails across the wound on his face, and it's a significant wound across his face.
I'm ignoring that for the moment.
Yeah,
I'm ignoring that.
He's like, he looks at you. He's like, always thinking with my heart. Our head pops.
Oh,
He didn't stumble. He didn't stumble.
Yep, I get it. I get it. It's all good. And then I hug him again.
And yeah, I mean, I almost made you wait, but I think that this is a better time for us to get ready to get back to the real world. Unfortunately, but yes, I did not make you wait this time. I almost was like, made you like open the door and then be like, it's time to get back to the real world.
That was that, but okay. So player me would have been like, screw you. DM me would have been like, good on you.
So good.
So
Congratulations. Just the big note. Much older looking than even you would expect for how long he's been gone, and very wounded. But definitely the Miro you remember, at least from what you see in this very moment.
I am so stinking excited to meet Miro. So excited.
Gonna be good. Well, now me and Kaylee got to be doing some DMs between now and next week. To get stories straight.
Yes,
awesome.
indeed.
Finally.
I'm so excited, and it's like so hard not to spoil things. Like, because also like, you know, let the tension be, but don't crush. I didn't want to crush anyone.
Yeah, I mean you did that very well.
But I have to say, I would not have gotten you this far and not have him been there.
Once again, the player in me is like, good for you. DM and me would have been like, come on, you could have given him one more vein. You know, come on. Because I tell you right now, well, I don't know if we want to do behind the curtain right now, but I had a scene planned out. If he wasn't here, I had something planned out.
You have to make a TikTok about it or a YouTube about it.
I might have to, and it would have been probably involving a third multi-class on our next level.
Ooh, wow.
Barbarian.
I would have multi-classed into barbarian if
nice.
Full rage.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am very excited for you. Thank you so much, everybody, tonight. We had a few subs. Lil Knees was throwing bits at us. Lil Knees also got their Dragon's Nest delivery box. They posted some pictures in the Discord.
Nice. Congratulations.
Lil Knees with the big subs. Big bits.
Yeah, and we had some subs tonight. Thank you, everyone who has subbed, who has followed. We have some new followers. Thank you, everyone who is giving bits, following our links, supporting us. It is amazing. We love doing this. So we are honored that you are here with us. We're excited to tell such amazing stories. I am very happy to move forward with, how this is going to go and finding out who Miro has become. Because he's been gone for a long time.
Yep. He's actually evil now.
Oh my God.
Evil Miro.
Everyone kept saying that too. They're like, he became the BBG.
The big.
Because it's been, what, 15 years?
Yeah.
At least it's like 15, 20 years. I have to go back and double check the notes because I spit that out.
And when
I may retcon it a little bit. So.
And when Roland first found that breastplate, all he knew is it came from the Black Sails. So yeah, that was the first feeling of like, oh no, what happened? So interesting stuff. All right, my friends. The people I know off the top of my head we can rate are Black Tower Stories, unless people have other suggestions. If anyone out there has suggestions, always please feel free to drop them in the chat, in the suggestion box, in the Discord, anywhere you please, to let us know. Streams we should check out, other D&D folks. Was there anyone wanted to check out, or are we going with them?
I think we're good with
yeah, Black Tower sounds good.
Black Tower sounds good to me.
All right, our friends over at Black Tower Stories, I believe, are back in the Feywild. They've been in and out of the Feywild, those poor souls.
Rip.
Interesting.
Rip to them, and
It happens to the best of us.
exciting stuff coming next time. Some exciting conversations for Roland and maybe the rest of the party too. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Let's all get back to the real world, unfortunately. And thank you so much for being here. We
Thank
shall
you.
see you all later. And
Blah, blah.
oh, you can catch the replays on YouTube. You can get your dice boxes at Hexwoods. You can get your subscriptions at Dragon's Nest. I lost my words. And make
Yes.
clips. Make lots of clips.
All the clips.
All right, my friends.
The clips.
Bye for
All right,
now.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.